So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Trip Smoke Pit. Tonight, I'm talking to Brian. He runs Stone Griffin Tactical. He's got this cool axe thing called the C-Tax, which I'm sure that we'll talk about here in a minute. But Brian, how you doing tonight?
Dude, hey, Trip, thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity. And let's get this going, man.
Dude, absolutely anytime. So, I mean, like, we're probably going to talk about some other shit down the line, but like, let's knock out the good stuff first. Like, tell me about your multi-tool thing. It's kind of like a crowbar. It's kind of like an axe. It's kind of like a hammer.
Kind of like a hammer. Got a little bit of everything in there. Rescue multi-tool. Basically designed it for police officers, first responders, everyday heroes, zombie preparation, anything like that. Basically just one of those cool multi-tools, used for anything. Throw it in the back of your car, throw it in the back of your patrol car, vehicle rescues, whatever you run into, just break down doors and, smash stuff. So
now that would be cool for the zombie apocalypse. Now,
right.
I haven't quite seen anything like that, though. Like, I've seen axes that have like a hammerhead on the back, but not that were also a toolbar. How'd you come up with that?
So basically, I was kind of the fire department has a thing they call the Halligan device. Halligan's, this great thing that we used for like 100 years. It's 36 inches and 27 pounds. It's this great tool, but they've been using it and they're really expensive. So whenever we, I'm a police officer by trade, so whenever we need a door we get into, we have to call the fire department. They show up with these cool tools, break down the door, we do what they want to do with it. But it's a time game. If I get there to a scene and I need to wait for the fire department to show up, it takes me 10 minutes to get there usually, and then it takes them another 20 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. I mean, it's time that goes by. You're in the military, somebody gets shot, somebody's can't breathe. I mean, that's 10 minutes, 20 minutes is an eternity, man. When you need to get help, you need it right now. So originally I was just going to go buy one of those Halligan tools, and I figured out that they're like almost $350. So it's like, that's I can't do that. So started looking, what do I need as a police officer right this second? I mean, it's not going to solve all the problems, but what could give me the most versatile and most options in there. So it was basically a tomahawk, more or less, with a crowbar. If I could combine those two, that's what I needed. So that's basically what I did. So you got the pry bar down here at the bottom, so you can pry doors kind of like you do with a Halligan. Get in there with like a crowbar. And then you got the axe for cutting safety glass, things like that, hacking into wood, anything you need to get to. The T-gap is for residential gas valves, so you can just turn off the gas on your house if you need
really?
to.
So when I saw that, I thought it was an attempt to make it more lightweight, but I guess if you're carrying it around your car, like, weight's not a big issue, but that's cool for the safety valve thing. I didn't know that.
And then they also do, if you want to, they double up too. So boom, now I got a 36-inch tool that I can crank with too.
Nice.
So so just try to pack as much into one little package as I could to make it as most as versatile as I could. And so just it's one of those things. The ultimate dream is kind of like one in the back of every patrol car, right next to the fire extinguisher. It's not that tool you need every day, but when you need it like right now.
Now, do you build those yourself, or did you just come up with a design and like have somebody else put them together?
So I did kind of a back of a napkin kind of design, tweaked it a couple times, had a prototype made, used that for a while. Got a real engineer, mechanical engineer, buddy of mine helped me out, really tweaked the design, and then had a guy have a forge up in Trenton, Detroit, Michigan, up there in Trenton. It's just outside Detroit. So it's a foundry up there that just cranked out 400 to 600 of them for me. So yeah.
Nice. Now with that though, is there a reason that it's that certain length? Like, did you like make longer ones and smaller ones and decide no, like this is the good sweet spot that Goldilocks would want if she had to get into a house?
Kinda. So like I said, the Halligan's about 36 inches. So that's pretty big. I mean, we think about 36 inches, that's a meter or more, right? So that's pretty big, especially as heavy as it is. When you start carrying around something that big and heavy, it's really kind of cumbersome.
Right.
Typically, the fire department uses it. They use just one guy. That's like his job. You carry the Halligan and the sledgehammer for it, and that's it. That's all you do. Because it's such a weight and encumbrance on you when you're doing this stuff. So I wanted something smaller and lightweight, and so it's about half that distance, half that length. And also, when you put it on your belt, about 18 inches is about how long so it doesn't get in the way if you're running or anything like that. It's kind of about the distance from your hip down to your knee almost. It's a little bit shorter than that. So I kind of wanted to keep it in that kind of range where if I'm going to put it on my belt, it's not going to be whacking me in the calf or anything like that. So and a lot of times you don't really for the stuff that we're getting into, the light breaching work I've designed the tool for. 18 inches is enough to pop a door. Most of those metal screen security doors we always run into.
I can get that with a pen if I needed to.
Yeah, I mean, some are more sturdier than others, but they can slow you down. I mean, if you want to, if you have the pen, that you can. I mean, sometimes you can pull some of them open, but a lot of times, you just need one little tool to get in there. and sometimes they can stop you. So the idea was to, like I said, just cram as much into one little tool as I could to make it as versatile as possible. So
yeah, well, that, and I would imagine like that would come in handy for something like if, I don't know, you got a call to somebody's house or something, you come there and you look in the window because nobody's answering the door and they're like, foaming at the mouth in the living room. It's like, all right, do I call 911 now? Which is kind of weird because I'm a cop. The radio, hey, police, or not police, this is the police. Can the fire department go up with and bring the hooligan tool guy? Like, I need him. Like, I don't truck. Put that guy in.
That's exactly what happened. I've had to do that a couple times. Even in I worked for a major metropolitan area department in Southern California, and I've had to do that, and that shit sucks. When you got somebody that's basically exactly like you described, down on the floor, can't open the door. They got the heavy duty burglar bars on their window, so we can't break the window and go in that way. And they got the security door. I mean, we're just sitting there hanging out, waiting for the fire department, or one of our SWAT guys to show up because they use the same tool. But I mean, it's like, we have one of those, so in a huge time, it's like I call my buddy, hey, you got the Halligan, bring it on over, and it's a time game. And that's
if he's not on a call using it somewhere else.
Yeah, or your sergeant has it in the back of his car, and it's like, hey, Sergeant, get over here. He's on the other side of town, so it takes him 15 minutes to get over there too. So it's just a time game, and the idea was my idea was
15 minutes. Jesus Christ, dude! Like, listen, I lived in California for a while. You're gonna get across a town in California in 15 minutes, like. I don't care if you're like got the lights on and you're running all the lights. Like that's impressive timing.
Yeah, but we're not, you're not working full San Diego. It's like, you work one part of San Diego to get in there. Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, it's still a time game though. You're still playing that, 2 minutes, you can last 2 to 3 minutes without oxygen, before your brain starts dying, and you're already behind the power curve because it takes us, 6 to 10 minutes to get there anyway.
Right.
And another 10 minutes out of there. It's nerve-wracking. It just sucks to be in that, that helplessness situation where
just standing there, not being able to do anything. That always
exactly. Shit. And then, it's just a pain in the ass. So, it's like this needs to stop. Either somebody has died, somebody's going to die, and I'm tired of waiting. This is bullshit. So,
excuse me, sorry. But yeah, no, fucking that sounds like a fucking good tool to have for that thing. Slight change of subject though. Fucking, I was watching this thing on Netflix. And speaking of the whole like being brain dead thing, and I forget what exactly it was called. Only the first half of the show was good, but it was kind of like a docudrama type thing where they were talking about this lady. She went to go like scuba diving or something in South America, and she was in the Amazon and fell off this waterfall and was stuck underwater for half an hour and was legally dead for like 20 minutes. Okay. But they brought her back to life, and like when she came back, she's like, well, first off, I don't have brain damage, so fucking anomaly. B, I think I met God, and he told me my son was going to die on his 19th birthday, and I was like, well, let's hope that doesn't happen. And then like her son's 19th birthday shows up, he doesn't die, and then she's like, oh, okay, cool. But then he dies the day after, and she's like, oh, fuck.
That's some bullshit right there, dude.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no, fucking just kind of weird shit that goes on with that. But like, I guess to kind of caveat into that, like, you don't have to give any specifics, but have you ever been like on call and like something spooky happened?
Well, see, that's always a really dangerous question to ask. Because I mean, it's like, what do you consider spooky? Because I mean, it's like I got some really weird stories. Like I can really fuck you up if I tell you some of the stories we've been through. But I got some funny ones. So it's just kind of like, what are you looking for?
Well, I mean, like I'm not asking if you ever saw like fucking the Mothman or Bigfoot or anything, but like I don't know, maybe something like you go and call, somebody answers the door, and then you like come in and the person that answers the door has been like obviously dead on the floor for like 3 days, and you're like, wait a minute, didn't you just where'd they go?
Nothing super that spooky. There's some stuff it would just like boggles your mind. We had this it wasn't spooky, but it was just like, how the fuck, just kind of like, what? So it was a vehicle crash, and you could clearly see where this car had come down this like sloping hill to do this kind of a turn, right? It's a downward sloping turn. And you can see the tire marks where this car went off the road, over the sidewalk, into this guy's yard, did kind of like spun out and then went back onto the street and kept going, right? Well, when you're looking at the space where this guy went into this dude's yard, there was 2 poles that are about 4 feet apart. And somehow a full-size car went between these 2 4-foot wide poles. I mean, you could clearly see where the tires went through here. I mean, these were solid poles, not like it ran over and they popped back up. I mean, these are like, solid stanchions that, it's like, we're trying to figure out like, and you can see all 4 tires going into this thing. It was just like, and we sat there for like 20 minutes, even with the guy at the house. It's like, dude, how the fuck does this happen? And we could not figure out how it happened. I mean, there's like some sort of physics, like maybe up on 2 wheels and went through. I mean, we couldn't figure it out how the fucking dude had managed to do it without destroying his car.
So you're telling me the story doesent end with you guys calling a detective who shows up, pulls off his glasses, goes, Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
Honestly, it was kind of like, dude, it must have. I mean, it was the weirdest fucking thing. We couldn't figure out. I mean, because I do collision investigations, so I see the worst of the worst on vehicle stuff. But I mean, that one was one of the weird ones. Like, and usually you can figure most of them out. You can look at the damage, you can look at the the physical evidence on scene, tire marks and stuff, and figure most of the crashes out. But dude, that one was just fucking no fucking clue how he did it. I mean, it was like there's no way physically you're supposed to be able to do this.
Yeah, well, maybe the car was made out of flubber, but that's what like kind of always like interested me. Is being able to look at skid marks and tell how fast somebody was going, and it's like somebody explained the math to me once, and I was like, yeah, that still doesn't make sense. I'm just gonna guess you guys use magic.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of feels like that sometimes. We don't use math. I mean, we know the formulas and the equations, and we can do it. And it's like it's like that algebra nightmare where it's that page long, one equation, an entire page. You can figure it out, but I mean, it's not fun. But we don't do it. I mean, you could usually, especially with the stuff that we see, it's really cut and dry. Like it's obvious this one guy ran a red light, and destroyed this car. I mean, it's kind of obvious, that's that kind of stuff. But sometimes we'll use it on like you said, skid analysis. You can walk cars back time frame wise. If you know the weight of the car, the friction of the vehicle, the tire on the the roadway, and you get all those numbers, you can figure it all out, and you can dial it in pretty quick. I mean, you can get it pretty accurately within like a couple feet or a couple miles an hour. So
nice. Oh, I also imagine at that point you only need within so much to be like, yeah, no, this that was totally your fault, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, even if your numbers are off by like, okay, you're doing 60 instead of 64, like I said. I mean, you're still doing 60 miles an hour going through here. So yeah, I mean, it didn't really matter a lot of times. So
yeah, no, that kind of reminds me. I was home on leave one time some years and years ago. I was down in Florida, and I was at my grandma's house hanging out. My dad showed up. My dad's wearing a suit, which to my knowledge is one of maybe 3 times I've ever seen him in a suit. And I was like, oh, hey, what's going on? And he was like, oh, old man fucking Jenkins down the street, died, went to his funeral. I was like, oh, man, that sucks. How did he die? Which was kind of a dumb question thinking about it, because I think the guy was like 102 or some shit. Like he retired from the Army Air Corps right after they established the Army Air Corps. Like 1946, the guy retired and then went to go be an airline pilot and then retired from that. And this would have been like 2010, 11, 12, somewhere around that time frame. And he's like, oh yeah, no, he wrapped his Corvette around a friggin' pole on fucking 15th Street going 80 miles an hour. And I was like, the speed limit's 20 on that street. What the fuck was he doing? So I'm either guessing that he got old, had something else happen, fucking slumped over, hit the fucking accelerator and just smash. Or I'm thinking that like since his wife died like 3 months before that, he's like, I'm old and I'm done. Which I guess wouldn't be a terrible way to go out as long as you hit something hard enough to know that they're not going to be able to resuscitate you.
We had one similar to that. Guy was some internet mogul, and he was on his way home. He was going through some legal problems, like he was about to get hooked up or something like that, I think.
It wasn't Paul Walker, was it?
Oh, no, it wasn't Paul Walker, no. But he was in a Lamborghini, and he was driving on like Harbor Drive down by the airport, if you know what that is. Remember the San Diego?
Yep.
So he was going like stupid fast, hits one of the Navy boat anchors that was a display out in front of one of the buildings.
Man, those things are like fucking Titanics themselves, man.
He moved it 25 feet or more. And he moved it
Christ, in a Lambo?
It moved. It's like he hit this thing into like basically it ended up killing everybody. Was like one of those instantaneous. Basically everyone it's dead. And it's like, wow, holy shit, dude. And yeah, so there wasn't our caper, but it was one of the ones that was in our area, we read about. And
no, those anchors, you need a crane to pick that up to put on the truck to move.
Yeah, he moved it. So it's like, holy shit, dude. Yeah,
good for him, man. Blaze of glory.
Yeah, he hit this thing like super fast and, dead right there. And it sucked. But yeah, it was just speed and, it's all about speed. It's all about velocity. It's not necessarily what kind of car you're in, but if you're going, Mach 2 and, a tiny car like that, you're gonna have a lot of energy to displace stuff with. So,
yeah, I mean, it's kind of like if you fucking fall from high enough to hit terminal velocity, like that fall doesn't hurt you at all. It's that sudden stop at the end.
Yep. And by that fall is pretty fun. I miss doing that every day. So yeah, I did airborne. So I missed that's fun.
Nice. Yeah, no, see that I never got into that. I've been to a few jumps, but it was always like, why are you? First off, why are you guys jumping from so low? Is the parachute gonna fucking open? Don't hit the ground. Okay, all right, that worked for some reason. No, I'm good. The fuck's wrong? We have helicopters, man. Like,
we just land, man. Why are you gonna jump? You just land. Yeah.
That's fun though. So, how long were you in the Army for?
4.5 active and about another 5 in the Guard. So about 9.5, almost 10 years total. So.
Okay, and if you were still jumping, I'm going to guess you were in Bragg?
4th Ranger Training Battalion, Fort Benning, Georgia. Yeah,
shit.
Ranger school down there, so that's pretty cool.
All right, yeah. I mean, because, like, you know, when you say airborne, a lot of people think of the 101st, but I don't think they've actually jumped since Korea?
I think they might have done Vietnam. They might have done one in Vietnam, but yeah, I think that was pretty much the end of their airborne career. So,
yeah. Which I guess is because we haven't had, like, a big war in a hot minute. I mean, we've constantly been at war, but we haven't like had like a big one.
Well, 82nd's got a couple. They almost jumped into Haiti. I know they did Panama. They did Grenada, and they got one in I think it was like 2012. I think they actually did one in northern Afghanistan. It was like super hush hush, kind of like. Honestly, tell you the truth, it basically seemed, hey, we need to do a combat jump because we haven't done one. Fuck it, let's do it. And kind of like we're doing a high value target up in the mountains, and like the Green Berets, I think they haloed in early, and basically the 82nd jumped in to secure the drop zone to get everybody out. But I mean, I think they probably could have done it with a helicopter. It's just like, fuck it, jump, let's go.
Well, so. I don't know, man. Like there's some places in Afghanistan where they were pretty good at shooting down helicopters. So I mean, that might have been a factor. Might
have been. But yeah, I mean, it was just kind of those like, you know, super hush hush. I think it wasn't even it wasn't like a division jump. It's just like a battalion, maybe, I think.
Right.
Maybe a brigade jumped in. It wasn't super huge.
Still, the logistics behind that had to have been fucking insane. But
yeah, you're still jumping in, you know, a couple thousand guys. So
yeah, no. Though the fucking what was the tactic for shooting down helicopters? I thought was really fucking interesting. So like, pretty much what you do is like you can only do it to, I guess helicopters are like flying through mountains anyway. But what you'd do is like you'd have one dude shoot an RPG at the helicopter, hoping that it'd freak out and, you know, maneuver away. But right after that guy shoots and the helicopter starts to twitch, you have 8 other dudes that shoot above it and hope the helicopter goes up into it. That's how they shot down that that helicopter in, I think 2011 or 12 that had like most of SEAL Team 6 on it. If you remember that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, because because I'm thinking Tora Bora where they hit the Chinook, but that was different. That was a different mission. Yeah, the one where that was it not extortion? It was, I forget which one it was, but yeah, I remember that. Yeah, it was hit it with an RPG and then killed everybody on board. Yeah. Which
sucks, but then like you get that fantasy. It's like, dude, what if Red Dawn happens here? Then it's like, where are you going to get an RPG? And you're like, the CIA doesn't like me that much.
You know what? You'd be surprised because my buddy, he just retired. He has one. I mean, he says basically if you get what do you say? It's like an FFL, a federal firearms license, or you manufacture guns. If you get an actual gun manufacturing license, you can buy that shit. It's just paperwork. Like, so you can have an RPG. I mean, yeah, he's got one. He's got an RPG 7. Oh yeah, good for you. But all right, go for it, man. But yeah, I mean, yeah, your normal person's not going to go through all the paperwork, and it's like a $300. It's like a $300 tax stamp or something like that. But yeah, RPG, there you go. So,
yeah, and I've always heard those like myths about being able to go to like fucking Thailand and like pay a dude $500 to shoot a donkey with an RPG, but like I kind of think those are bullshit.
I've seen the guys throwing hand grenades. I've seen them where they've actually done that, like in Thailand or something like that, where you can pay and throw a couple hand grenades and shoot a machine gun. It's kind of like Las Vegas, but with explosives.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like at the donkey part. Although I guess in that part of the world you might be able to get away with that, but they don't have PETA.
Yeah, no PETA at all. Yeah,
no PETA.
It was the one guy was saying the PETA's Marine Corps is who's the fat electrician. You seen that guy?
No.
That guy's pretty funny. He's got a YouTube channel. He's pretty funny. He does like little reviews of like, you know, the Marines, a review of the Army and stuff like that. He's pretty funny. But he did one as like his Marine one. He's like, yeah, the Marine Corps is the only service branch that PETA has said, hey, please stop drinking all the Cobra blood. Because it's like,
well, there you go. They got big after the Navy. maybe about a decade back because and I don't know if the Army or the Air Force did this, but I know that the Navy did this thing where they take a bunch of corpsmen out for like a week of training, and what they do is they give you a pig that you had to keep alive, and the instructors would set the pig on fire, shoot the pig, stab the pig, do whatever it is to the fucking pig, and then your job is to keep the pig alive, which, if you think about it critically, that's some really good fucking hands-on training because it's not notional like most of your other like training is, but the thing's alive and squealing at you, and there's like blood and fucking like burn marks and something attacking you while you're trying to heal it, a person would, but they would have to do it in a different location every fucking time because, I don't think it's environmental terrorists, because that's not the right word, but like whatever the animal rights,
eco terrorists,
animal rights terrorists,
animal rights terrorists, There was actually one of the schools down here in Southern California they were running that out of. It was a private, like it was not Blackwater, but I think it was like a subsidiary or something like that. They were doing they call them the goat lab, I think is what they're calling them.
Yeah.
But my understanding is like after they killed it, basically they did this lab, it died, it lived or died, they killed it and they ate it. So I mean, it wasn't like they were just, killing this animal and disposing of it. They like barbecued it. So I mean, there was like, it's just a different type of butcher, I guess.
Yeah. No, see, I don't know if I would eat it. I would eat it. I'm not gonna lie, I'd eat it. But I would kind of give it a look before I eat it because it's like, dude, how much quick clot did this thing get packed with? And did that get into the spare rib?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I can't. Don't eat the quick clot. That's not cool.
Yeah, no.
Maybe I don't know. That's what I heard. I'm not sure if that was actually true or not. But yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, and I don't think they're still using quick clot. I think they got rid of that a while back.
They use something. They're not. Yeah, not the actual like the powder anymore. They don't use the powder anymore. They use kind of similar stuff like that's impregnated in the gauze because we get a TCCC. It's tactical combat casualty care that they're teaching all the first responders now. So it's basically combat lifesaver for police officers.
Nice.
So what they give is they call it like a chitosan dressing, I think, but it's basically the same thing. It's that kind of anticoagulant impregnated gauze, and you just pack the crap out of the wound and just
Do you think that came about from too many people like trying to open it and then they can't get it open, so they use their teeth? Apparently that stuff was actually really messing guys up. I mean, it would save your life, but I mean, it was like causing like heart issues and stuff like that down the road. But I mean, I'd rather have the heart issues down the road than be fucking dead. So yeah, I mean, fucking even trade off, like fucking some ways that make you survive kind of suck.
Yeah. I mean, it's like even with CPR. I mean, if you can bring somebody back with CPR, their quality of life after that's usually not that great.
Yeah, I mean, because doesn't that like break most of your ribs if you do it right?
Especially with older people, it does. That part's really kind of disturbing when you're getting that one. But typically, it's like if your body dies, I mean, because you're basically keeping them alive, with CPR. So I mean, there's stuff that's already starting to shut down. It's hard to get that stuff back up and running again after the fact. So
right. I don't know. Some people fucking do it though. I mean.
Yeah, people come back from it. I've gotten people back, and it works. But sometimes, It's one of the. That's like one of the things. It's like police officers go through a lot of really crazy shit, and that's one of them. I mean, I remember one time during the summertime, I was doing like CPR like once a week. I mean, it's like work on somebody, and it's like, all right, CPR go, and you start working on somebody for 10, 15 minutes. They make it or they don't, and okay, now you got to do the death report. So the family's all freaking out and stuff like that. So. Ugh.
Now, would a lot of that be, say, actual police calls, or would a lot of that be like somebody calls an ambulance and you guys just get there first? Yeah,
typically it's like 911. We call them like non-breathers. So it's like, hey, this person's not breathing. Whoever gets there gets there. We all haul ass over there. Sometimes we beat them at a few minutes. Sometimes they beat us. It just kind of depends on where we are and who's going where. But we usually call them check the welfares. It's kind of like I said, it kind of ties into the tool. It's basically kind of one of the reasons. We show up and somebody needs CPR, and we got to wait 10 minutes for the fire department to show up. So,
sorry, guy. Yeah, that's not my area expertise. The firemen here, they don't know it either. We got to wait for the EMTs.
Because you can't reach them though. So I mean, it's that's kind of what it was. We get there, and this person needs CPR, and we got to they got the great security system to keep the burglars out, but that also keeps cops out from helping us. So I got to break shit open, and
Yeah, that's got to be a fucking thing. I mean, because like also like I rarely especially since moving up here, which I'm out in the podunk nowhere, have seen an ambulance or a fire truck that didn't have a police car within 30 seconds of it, you know? So I imagine they just like, you call 911, everybody just shows up unless it's like there's somebody in my garage type situation.
Yeah. Well, the medical calls, basically it comes down to like everyone goes there. So I mean, sometimes, like I said, we'll beat them there by 5 or 6 minutes. Sometimes, we get there at the same time. And then, if they're ahead of you, typically we'll follow them, and because they'll get there and they'll start working the issue anyway. But a lot of times you got, idiot drivers, man. That's the thing. Fire trucks running lights and sirens right behind you. The person's doing like 5 miles an hour in the, and the number in the fast lane just won't get out of the way. So it's just like, get out of the way.
Hey, you see a lot of shit, and it's like, did you guys miss that part in driving school where you're supposed to like pull the fuck over and get out of the way? No, I'm the only person doing this.
Yeah, right.
All right.
It gets worse. Either they don't get out of the way and they just keep going, they just stay in your way, or sometimes they actually slam on their brakes because they don't. It's like people freak out. They don't know what to do. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just get out of the way. But I mean, they'll slam on their brakes and almost cause you to run into them. I mean, people do really weird shit when you turn your lights and sirens on.
I got pulled over, I want to say probably about a year and a half ago now. And I was going about 70 in a 45. And I'm also like on a little country fucking road. So like to my defense, I didn't think there was going to be a cop. Turns out there was. Anyway, I get pulled over.
All right.
Guy pulled up behind me. Guy gets out of the fucking, cop car, starts walking up, talking up to me. And between the squad car and me, this semi truck, who was also, I guess, at fucking pace with me and didn't see the cop car, comes hauling ass by. He comes by so fast that the fucking cop gets blown over from the fucking wind, scrambles back up, gets in the car and chases after him. And I was like, I'm glad you're not dead, but thank God for that fucking semi truck, dude.
Yeah, oh, dude. Because commercial driver's licenses. When you drive those things, you have to have a commercial driver's license.
Right.
And any kind of violation, and they lose their license. I mean, it's like automatic. So yeah, and it's huge fines too. People don't realize, like, if those things are overweight, it's like, I mean, it could be like $15,000 per violation of some of that stuff. I mean, it gets pretty steep pretty quick with those commercial stuff. So.
Yeah, dude, and like a lot of that's like on you too, because like fucking if you're gonna be, I guess like a liability, not only are you gonna be in legal trouble, but the company you're working for isn't going to deal with it. So,
see, but you're overweight and you hit a family of 5 in a minivan, kill everybody inside. Who's at fault? You and the company is, because your vehicle was overweight, not not just huge liability on that. So
yeah, but you're not getting off of that, fucking.
No, you're done. Yeah,
like if you're really lucky, they'll sue the company, not you.
Yeah, typically, but yeah. So,
So yeah. Hey, so what got you into police work when you got out of the Army?
I was going to school. I was in between, basically getting out of the Army and just going to school, and my wife's sister's husband talked me into it. He's like, "Hey, you want a job?" And it's like, I could probably use a job. So, just put in for it. And it's kind of one of those things that just, one of the easiest things that ever happened. And they say, that's how you're in the right spot, when it's really super easy. I was talking to a couple of other people that are going through the process, and like, oh, it took me like 6 months. It was like this really hard process. And I was like, I did it in like 2 and like barely kind of phoned it in, and it just kind of happened. So,
Nice.
It's like, it's the military thing. I always wanted to help. I've always wanted to, do better for the country, do better for my community. So just kind of fell into it. It's like, I think like I could do this. Yeah. And so it was just, like I said, it just happened and went right through the process and became a cop. It's pretty easy. So.
All right. Did you by chance see that new recruiting ad the Marines have out right now?
Which one?
So they have one where they're trying to get on the whole thing. I think this is a response to the Army's newer recruiting ads, where they're like, "Oh, hey, are you from some like disenfranchised family? Like, we'll pay for your college and join the Army." And then the new Marine Corps one's all about like, dude, it's all about service. And it's this dude watching these Marines during this parade or whatever. He joins the Marines, and then like one of them gets out, one of them's a cop, the other one's like an EMT, and it's like, once you start serving, you're a serviceman for life, or something like that. It's like down the line of that, like where it's like, dude, no, like if you really want to help out the community, here you go. I was, which also reminds me, I was reading a book. I forget what the fuck it was called, but they were talking about how the military is full of quote unquote do-gooders, mostly because like you need a master's degree in a certain thing. I forget what it is, but you need a master's degree to join the Peace Corps. And there's a lot of people that would just join the Peace Corps, but hey, sorry, fucking, I don't have the fucking educational experience to fucking do that. So they join, one of the other fucking branches because, like, yeah, I know that the fucking main mission of any military branch is stomp on people's necks and break shit. But with that also comes like, hey, humanitarian aid's a thing. Like, I'm just gonna not join combat arms and go be like a medic or a CLB dude or a logistics guy and like give Haitians food.
Yeah, right. That brings up one of my favorite. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say because like fucking anytime there's a disaster that happens fucking anywhere that we respond to, like yeah, we get criticism for sending a fucking aircraft carrier there, but it's like, dude, there's like 4 full-size hospitals on that are staffed. Yeah. So yeah, like there's humanitarian aid, good shit to do for that. But
so yeah, that brings up one of my favorite Marine commercials. You'll like this one. So it's a kick-ass music. You got Ospreys coming in, they're dropping off grunts, they're all running off with their guns. You got the amphibious assault guys, the ramps are dropping down, the Marines are all fucking running off with guns and shit like that, right? And if you look closely, I mean, it looks like it's a total like here you go, amphibious combined arms, amphibious assault with the Marines, right? Like right. Some beach, right? But if you look in the back of the Osprey, there's a bunch of like humanitarian aid marked boxes. It's like they're like charging the beach. Oh, kill! Here's some food. Just
bang! Sorry, I shot you. Here's a fucking sandwich.
It's really kind of a mixed message. You don't really, unless you're really looking for it, you don't see the humanitarian aid in the back of the thing. But yeah, it's like amphibious assault with like if you look at the back, you see the humanitarian aid boxes in the back there. So it's just kind of like, yeah, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, and then like I like as a Marine, I like to make a lot of jokes about the whole like be all you can be fucking thing. Where it's like, well, yeah, the Army told me to be all I could be, so I joined the Marines. Duh. But those commercials were good commercials.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, you want to do something better than you? Here's your opportunity, buddy.
Yeah. I miss the old was it Army Strong ones where when I was coming on, they just moved to the Yellow Star with the Army, and they just moved to that when I was coming in.
Okay.
So yeah. I still remember the chest with the Marine turning into the Knight. Do you remember that commercial?
Oh, to fight the dragon, the lava
monster.
Right?
Come on, dude. That was a cool one. That was a cool commercial.
That one's been making its fucking loops again.
Yeah.
On especially on TikTok and like YouTube and like I can look at Facebook right now, but I can't interact because Zuckerberg hates me. But yeah, no, that one's been floating around again. Like mostly people like either making fun of it or like being like, dude, I forgot this exists. Check this out. Suck it, Air Force. What'd you do? Oh, yeah. Cool. You fly a little plane. I killed a dragon, motherfucker. The Hobbit was about me.
Hey, I got the ring to Mordor, man. What do you want from me? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny. I'm actually rewatching. I just got finished rewatching all those now. Fucking the Lord of the fucking Rings movies.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen them since theaters.
Yeah, I think I've watched them once or twice outside the theaters. I haven't ever watched like the full-blown like 12-hour extended edition all the way through kind of thing. Though I saw when The Hobbit came out, there was a couple movie theaters that had done that, and I was kind of interested in maybe doing that. But that was like a 2-day event basically. Yeah. You like live in the movie theater for like 2 days basically. But
your muscles start to atrophy, like you start to die in the seat.
You're growing hair on your feet, turning into a hobbit. Just been there so long ago.
Which, like, on one hand, it's like, dude, I'm glad that they did that for like the super nerds that want to experience that, because there's a lot of movies I wish they would do that for that they never did or will.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, dude, I ain't got time for that shit, man.
Exactly. That's
I don't care how hungover I am and how much of me watching this is going to be me taking a nap while it's on.
Yeah, that's like 4 3-hour movies, man. It's like 3+ hour movies. That's just like holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
I'm a fan, but that's a bit much.
Yeah. Fuckers. So what are you into then? Like I guess movie wise, book wise.
Oh, dude,
book wise can go hand in hand. So I guess that's.
Yeah, I mean, you have kids. You always go watch the kids movies that they come out and everything like that. Because you drag your kids to them. Lately, I've been watching a lot of like rewatching stuff. I just got done with Turn, that series. Finally, those the American Revolutionary War spies, basically for Washington.
Oh, okay.
That was actually pretty cool. Finished that one on Netflix the other day. That was pretty good. So 17th century stuff. Or 18th century stuff. I've been really into that kind of stuff lately. So watched Outlander. Finished that series. That was kind of cool, just because it's all 18th century stuff. But
Right.
yeah, I'm just kind of binge watching stuff. Occasional anime every now and then. Sword Art Online. If you ever watched that series, that one's pretty badass.
I tried to watch it one time, but it was on deployment, and like I got it from somebody else's hard drive, and it was in Japanese, and the subtitles would do a thing where they were there, but they weren't up long enough to read it. It was like subtitles, and it's like that doesn't help me, man.
Yeah.
So I've watched it. I have no idea what the fuck was going on, and I don't speak Japanese, so I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just kind of that stuff. Yeah. I mean, it was an interesting concept. I think the concept is cooler than it is. It kind of makes you wonder about,
like the Matrix, right?
Close. Yeah, pretty much. Like you go into VR, and basically, if you leave, you die. Is basically what it was. So, kind of cool. So.
Well, I mean, if you get killed in the Matrix, you die in real life too. So I mean,
yeah, right. So yeah, I mean, those are kind of cool. I mean, I've been trying to read more. I read your books, your first 3 books. I cranked those things out like it was nothing, man. I was like, holy shit, awesome. Yeah, I gotta go pick up the next one. I'm excited that you released the following series, so I gotta pick those up. I'm excited to read those. I'm still kind of pissed off about the ending of the 3rd book, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh well, you're really gonna hate me at the end of the 6th, but that's how it goes. Fucking, did you see the preview for the new Matrix movie though?
No, they have a new one.
Yeah, no, it's coming out next month, and the preview tells you absolutely fucking nothing. But Morpheus and Trinity and Neo are there, but they don't. It doesn't seem like they know that they're in the Matrix. So it's like, well, what the fuck is this about, man?
I thought he died. Didn't he die in the end of the 3rd one?
Yeah. So like, what the fuck's this about, man? Like maybe he died, and then like them outside the Matrix was still in a level of the Matrix.
Because maybe there's a Matrix the whole time. They never left.
Dude, it's like Inception, man. Just fucking levels on levels and levels and levels, man. Oh, speaking of anime and the Matrix, did you ever watch an anime movie called Paprika?
No, I never saw one.
I think it's from the late 80s, early 90s, maybe, but it's kind of like the Matrix and Inception in it that there's a psychiatrist who comes up with a device to, like, while you're asleep, he puts it on your head, and then he goes into your like dreams to like figure out what your daddy issue is and like fix it or whatever. Oh, okay. But there's this serial killer that like hacked into it, that he's going in and like killing people's patients while they're like under, and this detective is trying to go figure out who it is, but the detective gets caught inside of the dreams, and at the end of the movie you don't know if he's still stuck in there or not. It's like, dude, this is Inception, but it's a cop movie, and it's
Oh, okay, that's a little different. Sounds like that Jennifer Lopez movie. She did something like that when she was doing the serial killer or something like that. I forget the name of that one.
I don't think I've heard of that.
Yeah, that came out a couple years back, maybe 10 years ago, or something like that. She was kind of the same thing. She was going into a serial killer's brain to figure out what he did with his last victim to try and save her life. It was like, she's trying to figure out. Yeah, it's kind of what you're saying, but trying to figure out what's going on in his brain.
Interesting. I'd probably give that a shot.
It was kind of Benicio del Toro-ish. A lot of visuals in it are kind of crazy. So I mean, it's kind of neat, but
fun. Actually, on that, what is your favorite army movie, and what's your favorite cop movie?
Favorite cop movie. I don't watch a lot of cop movies. I don't. No, it's
get enough for work.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I don't want to watch.
You don't like cops, dude? You can't say that.
I don't want to do that stuff. It's like bringing your work home more like that. I don't want to like cops. I just don't want to. I deal with that shit at work. I don't deal with. That's not my leisure time. It's more work. Was it End of Watch was pretty good. I liked End of Watch. It was kind of hokey. But, I mean, it was. I wouldn't say realistic, but it did kind of have more of a grain of truth than a lot of the other movies out there, I think.
Right. But the ending made me, I don't want to say cry, but like I was upset.
Yeah, I think, I mean, of course, it was kind of hokey, but I mean, it was an interesting movie. It was an interesting take on it. So that wasn't bad. And then, man, my favorite army movie specifically, maybe not necessarily Army, but The Great Escape is probably one of my favorite military movies.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's a good one. I like that one. That's a good flick, man.
And for those of you at home, that's Steve McQueen, right?
Yeah, Steve McQueen back in the day. It's got everybody in it, though. It's got a ton of people in it.
Yeah, but they're in a They're in a German like POW camp in World War II, and they gotta get out. And like half the movie is like Steve McQueen on a motorcycle trying to run away from the Nazis, which is just
come on, man.
You're not gonna have a Steve McQueen movie where there's not a car chase, and if you do, because he's gonna be on some other type of vehicle.
Yeah, that was a good. I just like it because it's kind of like that. Fuck you. We're gonna figure out a way to do this kind of ingenuity thing is the part I like about it. That we're not gonna quit and we're gonna keep doing this and we're gonna find a way to do it. I think is the part that I kind of like about it. So.
Yeah, there was something that happened very similar to that in real life. I don't know if it's based on that guy's story, but if it was, I would understand why they didn't credit it, because it was a Stuka pilot that got sent to a Russian POW camp and did a bunch of crazy shit to escape. But that guy, before he got shot down, had I think a little bit less than 100 aerial victory or kills, about 500 tanks, and then 2 battleship kills.
He's not Rudel. That's
I think it's Rudel. Is it Rudel? Because after the war, fucking he got Operation Paperclipped into NASA and then designed the F-16 or the A-10. I'm not sure which one.
So there's 2 different guys. So the I think it might have been Rudel or Heitman. Might have been. I think you're right. I think it was Rudel. Rudel was the Stuka pilot. He had ungodly. I think he had the most combat aerial missions up until the tail end of Vietnam. He was the one that had the most sorties flown by one pilot ever. It was one cruiser kill, and he was something like 600 or 700 tanks or something. He was just massacred. It was all on the Eastern Front.
Right.
And then the other guy, Hartman, was the 109 pilot. I think that's the guy that designed the F-16. I think maybe.
Okay.
But 2 of those guys. Those guys were stupid, crazy pilots. I mean, it was all on the Eastern Front too, though. So that I read both of their books because I'm really into aviation, aviation history and stuff like that. And they both wrote books, and they're pretty. It's crazy reads when you're reading what they were doing. I mean, there's basically it's kind of like you're saying. They take off, bomb a bunch of shit, land. Take off, bomb a bunch of shit, land. They do it 3 or 4 times a day, and it's just holy shit, dude.
Yeah, there's so much shit going on where I think you would call it a target-rich environment.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah. Which on one hand, it's dude, that's a lot of fucking terrible death and destruction. But at the end of the day, it's Nazis versus communists, so no lives of value are lost.
If you look at it more of I look at look what this guy did. I mean, it's that sheer just the grit, determination, and granted, whatever your politics behind it and everything, that's a fucking achievement, man. That's a shitload of fighting. From the warrior concept of holding up your enemies as hey, this is impressive. That's an impressive victory, man. Like I said, it wasn't beaten until I actually just read this the other day. There was a guy in Vietnam. I think it was a Laotian contract pilot through the not Air America, but it's kind of a similar program, and he was flying A1 Sky Raider missions out of Laos against communists, and he beat Rudel's combat mission score by a couple hundred or something like that. But I mean, it was the same kind of thing. He's doing 6, 7, 8 missions a day for 6, 10, 12 months straight. It's just all he do is just fucking fly and fight.
Yeah, dude, that's intense. Fucking do you know about the I don't know what squadrons did it, but I guess it's more of a tactic than anything, but what a wild weasel is.
Oh yeah, those guys are badass.
Yeah, so for those of you listening at home, your job is to fly an attack aircraft and destroy anti-aircraft artillery by getting shot at by an anti-aircraft missile, dodging the missile, and then bearing down on the position and then either bombing it or shooting with your guns, which is impressive, not only because of the act of doing it, but the fact that engineers figured out a way to make an aircraft that could carry these guys fucking nut sacks. Because, dude, fuck that.
That's exactly what their motto was too, man. Was it you got to be shitting me? That was the squadron motto for those guys. It's you got to be shitting me. This is what we're gonna do. Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. All right, fuck it. This is what we're gonna do. Yeah.
So what's the alternate to this? Sending in ground troops, which would get the Soviet Union involved. Okay, so my job's to tempt them to do World War III without doing World War III. Yeah,
pretty much. And don't get shot down.
Okay, all right, cool. Fucking
yeah, Wild Weasel guy. Yeah, don't think I've ever read one of their books. My dad he was an Air Force pilot, and he was really into that stuff because he was a Cold War guy, but his did a U2 program.
Nice.
So he was flying the big spy planes, but towards the he's right about, I think he joined in like 76, I think is when he joined up. So kind of tail end, he was working with a bunch of those guys and Cold War kind of stuff. But yeah, he was, that was one of the things he was talking about is the wild Weasel pilots. And that's just, I mean, volunteering for suicide missions, that's almost like a voluntold kind of thing. Like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And it's like, fuck.
Well,
okay.
I mean, I don't know. When you say it like that, you're putting on the same level as kamikaze pilots, which I'm sure, like, there was probably one guy that was like, yeah, for the Emperor, and everyone else is like, ah, god damn it. As to where I'd imagine that, like, most wild Weasel pilots were like, my dick's bigger than yours. No, it's not. Prove it. Watch this.
Watch. Right, here we go. Watch this. Yeah, but like the sheer audacity of that. It's kind of the same thing we were talking about earlier. Like looking at when you're thinking about somebody doing, holy shit, dude, you're going to do this? Yeah, this is what we're going to do. I was like, fuck, man, holy shit. All right, let's do this. And people got it done. It's just nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So my dad also was in the Air Force. I think he joined in 77 or 78. Did one term, joined in the 70s, got out in the 80s. So it had been around that time thing. But he was saying they were doing war games against, I guess, the Idaho National Guard, I think. But while they were doing their shit, like he'd be out there, like working on a fucking, F-111 or whatever it is, like, loading notional, bombs or whatever. And then he was saying the Idaho National Guard would fly their F-4s in, like, over the runway, but, like, under the, like, street lights. And it's like, so these guys are, like, breaking the sound barrier just to fuck with us 20 feet off the fucking deck in an F-4. And it's like, yeah, no, that puts you in the category of people not to fuck with. Like, I'm good.
Well, it's fucking, you can get away with that shit in the 80s. You can't do that shit anymore, man. There's no way you can do any of that anymore. Hell, you got those helicopter pilots got all pissed off at that football game. Did you see that?
No, what happened with that?
So the 101st, they sent out, like 2 Apaches, a Chinook, and a Black Hawk to do a flyover at one of these big, college football games, right?
Yeah.
And the guys came in like stupid low. I mean, like almost below the top lip of the fucking stadium, right? And they flew right down the middle of it. I mean, totally controlled, no problem. They do a low level flying. It's super easy for them, right? But like the FAA got involved, and there's this big investigation. Like, oh my god, they're too low, and it's like, dude, I've seen those fuckers fly like 10 feet off the fucking ground at like full speed, no problems. Yeah, flying over a stadium at half speed's not an issue. It's like,
but everyone gets all butthurt about it. It's like, you can't do that. It's like, well, I can do it. Not only can I do it, I just did.
Fucking watch me.
So, be mad about it. And then I'm sure they'd get their ass chewed by their fucking CO, and it's like, oh, okay, all right, well,
all right, cool, yeah.
Although, like, I kind of wonder what those ass chewings are like. If it's like an actual ass chewing, or if it's like all right, guys, sit down. I got yelled at about this, so I have to yell at you guys about this. Don't do that again. Fuck off. There. I told you to go fuck yourself. Are we good? Are we good?
Well, my dad told me a story about. Yeah, come on, man. It's like, dude, that's fucking awesome. Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how many fucking times like I had to give ass chewings like that. Like most of it was towards the acid of my career, where fucking my first sergeant yelled at me about something my fucking Lance Corporal fucking did, and I'm like, come here. All right, hey, first sergeant's mad at you about this. If anybody asks, I ripped your ass. We good? Don't do that again. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny. My dad said when he was early in his career, he was a T-38, so a trainer. He's an instructor trainer pilot, basically. And he says there's a box you're supposed to stay in that's like, a nominal box that's kind of out there on the map. Don't fly outside this box if you're doing aerobatics or some shit like that. And then he said that box moved, and they redrew the boundary, but they were out there flying, and somebody went to the old box, and the FAA got all pissed off. You were outside your box, and it said it was like a 3-year process before he was like finally done with it, because the FAA is like, we're investigating you for going outside the box. You're gonna get fired, and it's just like, okay, I went outside the box. Who gives a shit? Nobody died. Come on. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of.
Yeah, no, the bureaucracy is the absolute fucking worst. And I imagine you deal with that being a cop all the fucking time, where it's like, can you do that? Well, I mean, like, yeah. Well, I mean, but we're mad at you for it. Did I do anything illegal? No. Am I legally allowed to tell you to shut up? No. Okay. Here's a mountain of paperwork I'll fucking fill out. That'd be a good
Dude, paperwork, dude, that's the worst, man. People don't realize how much fucking paperwork you got to do on the job. It's fucking stupid. Like, it's a ton of fucking paperwork. Yeah.
Dude, like, can you imagine how boring cop movies would be?
Oh, dude, yeah, that's why I liked End to Watch, because they kind of keyed in on it a little bit. It was a little exaggerated, but yeah, it was like, yeah, dude, it's like you get one arrested. That's like 4 hours of writing fucking reports, man. It's like, holy shit, dude.
God. Dude, no, I can imagine, because like outside of traffic violations, I think all but like one or two of the fucking interaction I've had with the police are like, yeah, no, I saw a thing. Do I have to stand here the whole time you write this?
Yeah, pretty much, man. Well, because like a DUI that, it takes you. I mean, that's like an 8-page report, man.
Yeah.
A DUI. I mean, it's a misdemeanor. Are you drunk? Yeah, he's drunk. I can tell you're drunk. It's like, but it takes me 8 pages to write down how I know you're drunk. And it's like, dude, you're fucking drunk. I can tell. I mean, it's like, it should be like 3 sentences, but it ends up being like, like 8 pages, man. It's fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, I guess on one hand, that's covering your ass.
Yeah, but I mean, still, it's like, you're drunk. I mean, he was obviously drunk. I saw X, Y, and Z, and that should be it. But no, it's like, I got to go. He stepped off the line on this step, on that step, and on that step, and then the next one, it's just like, come on, man. Yeah.
So I have a story kind of about that. I think I might have talked to you about this on an Instagram live at one point, but if not, I think it'll be good for the fucking show. But like, I have an uncle. I don't want to say I had an uncle. I have an uncle that used to be a cop down in Florida, right? And in Duval County, like if you're operating anything under the influence, that counts as a DUI. So if you're in a powered wheelchair and you're drinking, that's a DUI. However, most of the time, that's a I don't care, move on type thing, right? But there was this dude, my uncle had picked him up a few times because, fucking, drunk, unruly fucking bar calls. Hey, dude that needs to get picked up type fucking thing, And this is before he's in a wheelchair, right? And so he got picked up enough for, being drunk or drunk in public enough to where like my uncle knew this guy. Anyway, at some point, this guy fucking decides to like try to kill himself. So he jumps in front of a train, which doesn't kill him, but it cuts off his legs and one of his arms. Right. So he gets his little like mechanical wheelchair fucking thing, goes to this bar, gets all fucked up. He's driving his wheelchair in an intersection. And this is Jacksonville, Florida. So like it's 8 lanes, but they're stoplights because, it's a big fucking place. Cops get called because there's a dude in his wheelchair driving around in a fucking circle. And Malcolm comes up to him and goes, "Hey, Bill, Jeff, whatever the fuck his name was, let's get you in the car. Well, I'll just take you home." And he goes, "Fuck you, pig." My uncle's like, "Okay, all right, I guess we're doing this." so he got his nice wheelchair taken away.
I think the funniest one I saw was a guy in a scissor lift.
I'm sorry, what?
So it's little like it's a scissor lift. So it's like
I'm familiar with a scissor lift. I just need to hear the story.
So it was on YouTube. This guy's like driving down the road in a scissor lift, right? You can see he's sitting on like 3 cases of beer, and he's up on the top, sitting on the scissor lift, and just driving down the road on the scissor lift, right? So the cop pulls him over because he's driving the scissor lift down the road, and the guy's like, "Fuck you, cop, come get me!" And so he like raises the scissor lift like 20 feet off the ground. He's like, "Fuck you, come get me, cop!" It's just like, dude, come down. Yeah, DUI on a scissor lift. Yeah, I was like, okay, Bill.
Go away, or I shall taunt you a second time.
That's exactly right. It's like, what are you gonna do? I'm 12 feet off the ground. Come get me. So yeah, scissor lift DUI is pretty funny.
Dude, I can see them making a movie about that where there's like 2 cops or whatever, and then one of the cops is like, "Well, I mean, it's not like we can climb up there. Do we push it over?" It's like, no, because then if he gets killed, that's
liability. Yeah.
So do we wait for him to run out of gas? Well, he's got to come down sometime, right?
Cut the hydraulics? I mean, he's just going to be up there drinking, throwing the bottles at you. I mean, it's like, come on.
There's a gold mine of comedy somewhere.
Oh, yeah, dude, yeah. Oh, there's the one thing that's like, it's one of those things that's like that dark humor thing. It was the cop in France, I think. They hadn't gotten the memo yet that you're not supposed to use alcohol-based pepper spray with tasers.
Oh, I didn't know it was a thing, but I see where this is going. Go on.
Yeah. So basically this guy's, he's fighting the cops, and I mean, it's like he's starting to he's really starting to kick the cops' ass. I mean, it's a big fight. It's a knockdown, drag out fight. So they pepper spray him, trying to get him into custody. Doesn't work. They're fighting with him. And so one of the other cops shows up with a taser and tases the guy. And alcohol and electricity fucking caught the dude on fire, and it's like, holy shit. So of course they tackle him real quick and they put him out really fast. But I mean, yeah, that took the fight out of it. It wasn't the pepper spray, it wasn't the taser, it was getting set on fire by the pepper spray and taser that took the fight out of him.
Well, yeah, no, see, that's one of those things that where like being set on fire will stop most people from still being aggressive. However, if I was in that situation and the guy I was trying to subdue was on fire and still fighting, I don't feel bad about saying, yeah, no, dude, you win. I'll leave. Okay.
You win. We're good.
like there's something else is going on, and I don't have the skill to challenge the will of God, which you have honestly fucking obviously harnessed.
Yeah. I mean, they put him out. I mean, it was like you could see the cops were like, oh shit, what the fuck? Because I mean, they put him out like super quick. I mean, they jumped on and put him out, and I don't think he got any serious burns or anything like that. But I mean, that's like a whole level of like, what the fuck is going on? Oh shit, he's on fucking fire. What the fuck?
They're like rubbing his head. No, it's okay. Don't tell mom. Don't tell mom. It was an accident.
Yeah, don't tell mom. Oh shit. Yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah, you know, you don't see a lot of crazy fucking cop videos from Europe, and I don't know if that's just because fucking different language, so you're not interested in watching it, or if they don't catch it. But I do know that, like, you know how you see a lot of the crazy traffic fucking videos from Russia? That's because like legally in Russia you have to have a dash cam, so all that shit gets caught on tape. And that's why you see so much of it, because like they're recording fucking everything anyway. And I'm sure something crazy happens. Some dudes like that's going to fucking YouTube. Like,
oh yeah. My favorite one is the guy was that. Remember that one comet that blew up? It's about 5 or 6 years ago. Comet came down in Russia and broke a bunch of windows and shit. Yeah. That shit happened, and a lot of people caught it on their dash cams. And it wasn't like it was like happening like 100 miles away. It like plainly visible. Like there's no way you can miss this. And like all the dash cams are like nothing's going on. Like it was like just a normal day. Like this thing explodes and like whatever. Still driving, doing my thing. Like no hesitation, no swerving, no stopping, no oh fuck. It's just boom. Just driving around, man. Like, holy shit, dude.
Well, speaking of like everybody having access to it and seeing it, leading to its exposure, that's why everyone thinks Florida's fucking crazy. Because they have a law there, or whatever part of the fucking like legislator regulations is to where if a journalist shows up to the police offices, hey, I need your police reports, the police have to give their police reports to the journalist if they ask for it. So journalist is bored, doesn't have a story that day, goes to the cops, hey, I need your police reports from yesterday. Traffic violation.
Florida man.
All right, let's go with this.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. Yeah.
So, and from what I understand, that's not a thing that's like in every state.
It's a Freedom of Information Act a lot of the times, and usually, every department kind of in every state is different. So, I mean, like most laws, I mean, they're very similar, but there's always these little nuances that are different. And I think that I know in Southern California, it's one of those, we can give it to you, but you have to request it, and then it goes through Freedom of Information Act, and then we look at it, redact stuff, and then send it to you. It's not like an instantaneous thing.
Oh, yeah, no. In Florida, it's like okay. Press print. Here you go. So, I think that's why everyone thinks people in Florida are crazier. It's just because no, the information's there for it. Not like we're gonna pretend that. Sharpie that.
Oh yeah, dude. You want to talk about redaction stuff? So, body worn cameras. Everyone has those. A lot of departments are using those, right? Well, God, there's the thing that's the manpower drain from hell that you don't ever think about. So not only is it a ton of data, whoever did the body camera, I think Axion's taser guys that did that. So they're paying for storage. So talk about I mean, you got to pay these guys to store these videos, which is God, come on, that's the greatest thing ever, right? Biggest scam ever. But
yeah, no, their lobbyists must be fucking laughing themselves.
Yeah, right. God.
Which is like one of those things where it's like, yeah, no, I agree. Cops should all have body cams because like that protects the cop too. Because if the dude said no, he abused me, it's like, no, he didn't.
But yeah, the storage behind, that's the. I mean, I'm all for body worn cameras. I mean, I've had them. I came on. They got them to me about halfway through my career, so I didn't have them when I started, but I had them about halfway through. Had them ever since, and I mean, they are
set up. You having to pay for the storage.
Yeah, dude, holy shit. But yeah, the thing is when they release those body-worn cameras, the people's faces that are blurred out, right? Somebody's got to go in and do that. So if you're going to release this 20-minute video, you got to go in and redact all these people's faces using the software to do that. And it's like, okay, you get 1,000 of these. Think about the man
probably getting paid $100 an hour to be like, blur this.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's like what are you doing today? I'm blurring videos out for the cops, and that's just all you do for like 12 hours straight,
So speaking of that, you haven't ever been on Cops, have you?
Not on Cops.
No, you say not on Cops like you were on something else.
I'm traffic investigation, so all the fatal collisions you'll see me in the background a lot of the time on some stuff, just going through stuff and doing things like that. Never been interviewed, like specifically interviewed, but in the periphery on a bunch of stuff. So
okay, dude, is Cops still on?
I think they're trying to bring it back. There was the live PD thing that was going on for a while. Then they canceled that because it was showing cops in a good light.
God forbid! God forbid!
Oh, right. God forbid. Yeah.
God forbid.
So same thing with Chase the dog. That was the biggest thing. They took was it Paw Patrol off because
really?
Yeah, dude, that was a big thing. You didn't hear about that? Yeah.
No.
They took Paw Patrol off.
I don't have kids, so like that's not in my AO.
Yeah, so there's the firefighter dog, there's the police officer dog, and I think there's another one, but yeah, that has a police officer dog that's it's a good dog, and it's a good police officer. So there was a big controversy behind that. Then
because all cops obviously work for fucking Sauron.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, there happened last week. I think there was some influencers like maybe one of the Kardashians or something like that, but somebody on that kind of a level had a birthday party for their kid, and the kid wanted a Lego police officer party, so they did a Lego police officer party, and she got like hammered on Instagram. Like a bunch of her followers were like, "Oh my God, read the room! How dare you? You can't do this!" The cops are. It was like the cops did a Lego party. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, no, like, that's fucking dumb. And like that whole like. I know we've joked about it before, but like the whole fucking like all cops are bastards thing, and it's like, well, all cops. That's like, well, I mean, like, you got to add a little bit of fucking nuance to that because, like, say somewhere like Detroit are being assholes. It's like, well, I mean, that's Detroit. Fucking, I'm sorry about that, but like, podunk cop who like only works 3 days a week and 99% of his interaction is giving people tickets for running fucking stop signs. I don't think that's the same guy, but I mean, what do I know? I'm just some asshole. Like,
oh, dude, yeah, it's really funny. You say that. I've heard a couple people saying even they've even specifically targeted that. Like, all cops are bastard. Yes, even your uncle. It's just like, oh wow.
Right. Okay. All right. Sure. So I'm gonna take fucking random idiot on the fucking internet's fucking opinion about this. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that bad shit doesn't happen.
Oh yeah, no, it does. And those people should absolutely get hammered. I mean, that I will never defend that. So I mean, but yeah, it's so we're not supposed to stereotype, but they stereotype everybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's that double-edged fucking like sword. Yeah. That's not the right analogy. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially with the protests this last summer when the working guy had an 80 hours of overtime on one paycheck. So an 80-hour work week with 80 hours of overtime on one paycheck. So it was like holy shit. And
it was on one hand that sucks, but on the other hand, Christmas is probably gonna be nice.
Yeah, right. That's kind of the running gag. It's like these protests. I mean, you're gonna we're fighting the good fight, and it's like, I mean, sure, double time and a half, knock yourself out, man.
Yeah, fucking Santa is fucking coming in balling this year.
Yeah, so that's how you deal with that. Yeah, time and a half, man. So that's how I deal with it. It's double-edged sword. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I mean, because like you were. Like, dude, how was like fucking San Diego for the whole fucking George Floyd thing?
We had some protests in Southern California. I work for a local agency. I can't identify by policy. So yeah, Southern California. It wasn't bad. I mean, there was just a lot of people making noise, and I absolutely respect people's right to protest.
Right.
Please go for it. I think you should. My complaint was that it was basically just making a lot of noise. They weren't actually doing anything. I mean, if they're signing people up to vote, cool. If you're making changes, and it's like, that's cool. But I mean, if you're just out there making noise, shutting down the roadway, you're just, I mean, good on you, I guess. But I mean, you're not really accomplishing anything, especially if you're protesting police actions 6 states away in a state where that doesn't happen. So it's like, why sue venom on me? I didn't do anything. It's like, that's not even our department, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So, yeah, no, and like I could almost understand if it was like back in the fucking 90s and like Rodney King just happened. It's like, yeah, okay, we're like 30 miles away. Yeah, right. Fine, I guess.
Yeah, but yeah, 6 states away with not even our department. It's like, okay, why? So yeah, I mean, it wasn't bad. We had one we had one really bad day. It was like the third day into the protest. I think it got really bad downtown. Then we started making a bunch of arrests. We just started arresting like almost anyone that was like doing anything wrong. You got arrested. Yeah. And then we got a couple of the key organizers in that time frame. Then it calmed down. And then for the most part, it was just people blocking roadways and protesting. And that was fine. It was no problem after that. So,
when I was a boot, one of my infantry buddies, buddies now, back in the day, combat camera I'm attached, so he's like the platoon sergeant of fucking whoever I'm dealing with. But when he was a boot, he was in 3-1 and got called in for the fucking Rodney King riots, and he's like cat platoon, so they're rolling around Humvees in Los Angeles for whatever fucking reason. But something was going on at this fucking Circuit City, and I don't remember exactly what the fucking deal was, but LAPD had to like go into this Circuit City to tame it. Also, for the younger viewers, Circuit City was kind of like a Walmart, but it was all an electronics section.
Best Buy. It was like Best Buy.
It was like Best Buy, but if I remember right, it was better. But whatever. Anyway, one of the fucking cops, tells the Marines, "Hey, cover me." So that
means two totally different things. That's two totally different things.
Yeah, which apparently they didn't get briefed. And cover me in, correct me if I'm wrong, and police work means, hey, if anybody starts shooting, shoot back. As to if you say that to a Marine, that means start shooting that way immediately. So they start lighting up this fucking Circuit City with a fucking 50 cal, and they're not like shooting, they're just like shooting into the top of the building. But they're like, yeah, dude, like we fucked that fucking building up. We didn't hit anybody, but they had to put a new sign up. And wall. And in retrospect, thank God the fucking we weren't authorized to use the Mark 19.
Yeah, that's a different way. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're starting to tell that story. I can see exactly where that's going. That's like, oh shit. And so the cop probably figured, like, what the fuck are you doing? Hey, you said cover you, so we're cover and fire.
Yeah, no. Apparently there was an argument afterwards between whatever the top cop guy, I'm imagining, started. I don't know police ranks or how that fucking works. And then like their first sergeant be like, well, I mean, you told us to do this and we did this. I'm sorry you didn't say it in a language we understand, buddy.
That must have been a fun report.
Yes, 36 hours straight. And then I said, which in terms of whatever police department I am, means here's the full fucking reason or the full explanation of what that means to me. And the Marines took that as
XYZ.
I know we're a little bit too early to use this term, but oof.
Oof. Yeah. That's a good one. Covering fire. Yeah, that would have been pretty entertaining. And just like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, let's stop the fight real quick.
yeah. And like it's one of those things I didn't think to ask back then, but like, I kind of want to go back and fucking ask. It's like, did you like look to your platoon sergeant and be like, first, or did you just like rack that fucker and be like, fuck yeah, man?
This is the only time this is the only chance we're gonna get to do anything like this. Hell yeah.
Did you get a combat action room for that? No, God, no.
Ugh, yeah, that oof. Yeah, oof. Yeah, that's a big oof.
As the kids say, I yeeted those motherfuckers.
Yeeted the shit out of that building. It was great. Yeah, took the fight right out of him. It was like that was the end of it, man. Everyone was done after that.
Yeah, no, that would stop me from doing whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah,
exactly. And I immediately start shitting my pants.
Well, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand.
Yeah, dude, Brick killed a guy. Where'd you get a hand grenade? You should probably lie low for a while. Do you have any friends out of town?
I want to move for a little bit. Yeah. Bob's not allowed on the 50 cal anymore ever.
Dude, fucking, I remember we were in Afghanistan. We're at a fucking like range before we like it's like right after we got in the country, and we're like fucking like doing our fucking like BZO shit. And this dude, he got fucking hazed so fucking bad for this. But he's one of the fucking gunners on one of the fucking Humvees. Fucking, we're zoning in the fucking 50 cals. Fucking first round barrel flies off the fucking Madus. It's like,
Yeah.
dude,
you're that guy. Yeah. Yeah, no. I think the funniest thing we had was we were at was it Talil Air Base? It's just outside Ananasaria in Iraq. So we're going up there, and there's this like huge berm. It's got to be like 30 feet high. And you first thing you go on the gate, and that's where you clear weapons before you start driving on the rest of the base, right?
Right.
Well, and typically, I guess further north, you guys have you shoot your right, you clear the gun, you shoot a couple rounds, make sure it works before you go outside the wire.
Right.
This was not that berm. That's what this guy did. So we got up this big ass berm. He's like, "Ka-ka-ka-ka-ka-ka." And everybody's like freaking out, like, oh shit! They come running over. He's like, I thought this was not that berm. Yeah, not that berm, dude. not that berm.
I don't know what the meme is from. I just know the meme. It's like, dude, you're not that guy.
You're not that guy. Yeah, not that guy. Not that guy. Yeah, not that guy. I think my favorite one lately is Brad Pitt from Inglourious Bastards. It's like, you're gonna get executed for this. Nah, probably shoot out. I've been shoot out before.
Oh god, dude, like that almost like became like a badge of fucking honor at a certain point where it's like, oh dude, I got chewed out by this guy. It's like, dude, no what? No shit, what? Like this was shortly before I got out. Within a year of getting out, and I was in for almost 12 years. And the base general went around to like all the different fucking units and was trying to like, hey, listen, fucking everybody E6 and up, get the fuck out. I want to talk to the fucking troops type shit, right?
Okay.
So he comes to us and he starts asking these questions, and I was honest. I might have been a little salacious because I was bad at the command, but like for the most part, I was honest. The day after that, I got to go talk to our company gunnery sergeant, and then the first sergeant, and then the company CO, and then the sergeant major, and then the XO, then the CO, and then I got an admin audit, and then I got to go get my skivvies and get weighed in, and then like I had to go run a PFT, and it was like,
shit,
dude, I just did I say anything wrong? It's not what you said, it's who you said it to. I'm like,
he asked, what do you want from me?
Yeah. And then like fucking my staff in COIC was like, dude, you can't be saying that shit. I'm like, did I lie? He's like, no. And most of it's like mundane shit, like fucking, hey dude, the fucking dryers are broken, the barracks type stuff, but general don't need to hear that. Fucking, you need to not tell the general, you need to tell the fucking battalion fucking supply guy.
Yeah,
but the general asked me, so I mean, do I lie to him?
Yeah, so I said, hey, this is what's going on. Yeah, there was one of the Army regs. I remember reading it. And it was like insubordination or something like that, or if you like talk back to an officer or something like that, even if you're right, you still get an Article 15. It was like specifically in there. Like even if you're fighting with this guy, and even though you may be right, you can't say stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
Okay, there you go. But I was right. Yeah, I know you're right, but still, fuck you. Here you go.
Dude, there was a guy, in the Marine Corps, you're not allowed to have your hands in your pockets, right? And I think so. It's on my first MU, so I think third deployment. But like, one of the platoon sergeants, like this dude was a ghost on ship. Like you could not find him. Like nowhere. Yeah, pretty much. Like this dude would just disappear into the ether. But like I needed this guy for shit a lot because he's a platoon sergeant. I got shit to do that needs signatures. So what I do is I go down to the hangar bay on the ship, I'd stand there, and I'd slide my hands in my pockets, and this dude would show up like fucking Batman from behind, grabbing my wrist, pulling them out, and then screaming at me about trying to give him an aneurysm. And I'd be like, hey, Gunny, while you're here, can you sign this?
Like that's a funny thing. It's like, oh my god, you have your hands in your pockets. It's like, okay,
well, they're cool.
Yeah, it's undisciplined. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's like one of those things you get out, and you realize, God, I lived like that. You'd be like, bitch, you live like this? And it's like, yeah, we lived like that. We did that. That was a thing, man.
Yeah. Everyone who hasn't been in the military likes to think, oh yeah, fucking, you're all like the guys from 300, and all you do is fucking like eat raw meat and kill the enemy. And it's like, nah, most of the time I mop, and the other part of the time I get yelled at by dudes that are my age or maybe a little bit younger for having trash in my trash can.
Walking in the wrong side of the grass or something like that.
Yeah. Walking on the grass.
Walking on the grass is true, dude.
Fucking heathen.
Not running from point. Yeah, that was one thing when I was active duty. We had to run everywhere. I mean, it's like, period. I mean, if you're going from, one building to the next, there was no walking. If you weren't marching, you were running everywhere. Yeah. If you weren't calling cadence, you were running. So that was kind of different world.
When were you in again?
So active duty from 98 to about 2002.
Okay.
So
you're there for the fun shit.
Yeah, it was definitely kind of interesting. I remember I was active duty when 9/11 happened, and God, I think we're doing common task training. Basically, it's like load a machine gun, load your M16, clean this, basic land nav, stuff that you're doing for the day. And we'd done PT, and I distinctly remember where you talked about, hey, you got to be ready for anything because you never know what's going to happen. At PT, we go start doing all of our, these common task training. So we're setting up the training points because kind of like a round robin kind of thing. And dude, the first sergeant comes running over and he's like, fuck that shit, drop your shit, go get weapons, holy shit, and fuck all that shit, get your gear and let's go. And we're like, what's going on? It's like there's a building that just hit the Twin North Tower, and it's a terrorist attack. We need to shut down the base. And I was like, what the fuck? Because Fort Benning at the time was an open post. There was no gates. Any civilian could drive straight onto the base and straight back off. You could walk across, some of the ranges and stuff like that. There was no gates to keep anybody out. So we had to run out there with concertina wire and K barriers and just basically shut down the base for everything. So
yeah, so I need you out here to check people's IDs. If they're in active, they don't come in. Dude, I'm a fucking E2.
Nobody gets bullets.
Do I shoot them? No, God no. Just don't let them in.
Here's the empty magazine for your rifle. The one guy on the post has bullets. That's it. That's all. Everybody else has empty weapons. Stuff like that. It's like, wow, okay.
Yeah, for them it'll be like Russian roulette. For you, it's gonna be trying to shit your pants. Have fun, kid.
And then they were sitting there. It was like 3:00 in the morning. Somebody was coming on the base, and no shit, the guy had Bin Laden. That was his last name.
Well,
he's like, yeah, I know.
What?
Yeah, dude, it was like,
I'm sorry, what? What?
It was the funniest thing. He rolled up, and as soon as he rolls down the window, we handed him his ID, and he's like, yeah, I know, not me, no, don't worry, not. And it was just like, it was immediate reaction, like, oh, no fucking way, dude. Yeah, it was kind of like, holy shit, dude.
Oh, okay, so in a minute, I want you to remind me about Bin Laden, but in the meantime, would you mind keeping everybody fucking entertained for like a minute? I gotta take a piss. I can hear you.
No, yeah, no worries. Yeah, sure, I got you.
All right. Anyway.
Yeah, so that was pretty entertaining. We had that was an interesting 5 minutes on the post where everybody kind of freaked out and like we all came running over, like we had to see it just to make sure it was really real, Yeah, and no shit, that was the guy's last name, Bin Laden. So
did you gather everyone around and be like, dude, look at this shit?
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 of us on the point, and everyone was like, dude, you got to get over and check this out. So we came over and checked out the guy's ID, and we all laughed about it, and it was kind of funny. And but it was definitely one was like, you got to be fucking shitting me kind of thing. It's a guy coming through like 2 days after this all happened, and the guy's last name's Bin Laden coming through the fucking gate.
Dude, that's great. The only thing that could make that better was if he was like a pasty white Irish dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, I think it was a supply guy or something like that on one of the units on base. But yeah,
so it was active duty. That's even fucking better.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, yeah, coming through the bait. Yeah, that was pretty fucking entertaining. Like, holy shit. Yeah, it was weird though, because I mean, some of my buddies are like, oh, we're going to war, and it's like, yeah, we're going to war, and he's like, we're going tomorrow, and it's like, dude, no fucking way, man. I like your enthusiasm, but we're not getting involved in this for like another 3 months at least. And we're a training unit, so we're definitely not going. So
yeah, no, that's the other thing though, is like people have this misconception about like how I guess they get this from fucking movies where your I guess experience in the military is like you talk to the recruiter, you go to boot camp, you go immediately to the war zone, and then you get out of the military the day you get back.
Yeah,
like that literally has never happened, but cool for putting in this movie. Like, cause like, dude, they even did that shit. Like, on did you watch The Pacific? It was the HBO show, kind of like Band of Brothers.
I've only seen a couple of those episodes. I watched all of Band of Brothers. That's my jam.
Oh, that's a good show though. Right. Yeah, but like in The Pacific, fucking they get done fighting the Japanese, and then they like come home, get off the train, go home, and it's like, yeah, in real life. after the war, those dudes like went to China and like helped demilitarize the fucking Japanese units there for like 2 years. And this scene that you're showing is in this guy's book, but it's in 1948.
Yeah,
Because,
That wasn't
he was in the military after the war ended because that's how it worked.
yeah.
Like, the only one of those that I think is like actually accurate is like Vietnam dudes, where like they were deployed when their enlistment came to fucking end, and they just like flew them home and discharged from them. But like that's kind of an outlier.
Yeah, but you're talking about demobilization process. I mean, I remember doing that. It's like a 3 or 4 month process. It's not like you step off the boat and you're okay. Here's your papers. You're done. It's like no, there's a shitload of stuff that goes on after that. Even coming back from National Guard deployment, it was like that. We came back. I came back in 06. Yeah. November of 06, I came back. We did 15 months gone. We came back, and dude, it took us like about a month to basically. We came back in the country, and we're sitting there doing paperwork and evals for a month, waiting for everything to kind of slow down. So
yeah,
before they let us go home.
Dude, those post-deployment fucking things were fucking a pain in the fucking dick too, because it's like, all right, I know you guys been gone, but we're gonna have a day of teaching you how not to drink and drive, and it's like, okay, sure, fine. Listen, I'm not saying that drinking and driving is good. I'm just saying it's fun. I won't do it. All right. Okay. Also, here's a day of not beating your wife. I'm not married.
We're gonna take the
no. Also, don't do drugs. We're going to do a day of telling you not to do drugs. The bar is literally right off base, man. Like, what the fuck do I need Coke for? Like, come on.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think the funniest thing that happened, we came back, and so we get kind of like a half a day pass, right? So we go into town. We're watching a movie. I think Lord of the Rings and the Two Towers. The last one in the installment had come out. We're like, oh, hey, we've been gone. We're going to see this movie. This is going to be great. We've been waiting for this movie. So we're sitting there in the movie. About halfway through, we get this phone call. They're like, everyone needs to get back to the base right now. And we're like, oh, that's bullshit, right? So we're like, all right, fine. So we go back to the base. And it turns out we were going to an award ceremony for a different unit, but they needed people to fill out the ranks to kind of make it look like there's people there.
Oh, so none of our fuck you, but fuck you and your friend.
Yeah, we didn't. I mean, none of our guys got citations. And it was not our unit that were getting a citation. None of our guys did. We were there for another unit that wasn't related to ours, wasn't even attached to us, but they needed people to kind of fill in. So it was like they can't. Oh, dude, we were pissed.
I understand the trifle you have with me, sir, but what did my horse do to you to offend you so much?
It's like, fuck, dude. We were pissed. Yeah, halfway through the movie. Right before the big battle, kicks off, where they come, the Roaring charge down the hill, right? Yeah, we gotta leave. It's like, motherfucker.
No, that's the good part. I mean, granted, I've got up to piss twice because this movie's 16 hours long, but I mean, like Gandalf's back, so.
Yeah, so right before that battle, we had to leave. And it's like, motherfucker. Yeah.
I also love battles in movies too. Battles in movies too, because it's either downtrodden and the bad guys are killing all the good guys, or like it's victory moment and all the good guys are killing all the bad guys. And it's like, bro, that's not how it works.
Yeah, no. It's just a lot of like, oh, this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, like no one's pissing in a bottle.
Where's
no one's putting up a jackrack.
There's no waiting around. These guys just went straight into combat. That's fucking bullshit.
That's why I will maintain, while it's not my favorite, the best war movie ever is Jarhead.
Oh, dude, that movie's depressing though, dude. Oh,
yeah, but how accurate is it though? So you're going to war, dude.
It was so accurate.
I'm just jacking off for 6 months. Yeah, no, that's combat for you.
Yeah, that's pretty much dude, because that came out right before I got on the airplane like 2 weeks after that movie came out, dude.
Yeah.
So I watched that movie. Was like, oh, dude. I went to with my dad because he came up for one of our passes right before I left, and we saw it with him. And I was like, dude, this movie's really depressing. He's like, oh, I thought this was a great movie. And it's like, no, dude, no, it's way too close to home, and I'm about to go into that. That fucking
someone hasn't been to Iraq.
It's like, oh, this is way too close to home, way too accurate. It's just like, oh, it fucking blows.
Dude, no, fucking, I think this is right after I came back from my fucking first deployment. I was watching a movie with my dad. It was called My Dog Skip. Also, before I go into this, I love my fucking dad.
Okay.
But you know, you have that thing where it's like, well, I mean, like, you know, you got to usurp the throne at some fucking point, you know, so you can't have that fucking attitude. And also, I'm like fucking 21, so like, you know, I still got the fucking like dumb teenager attitude about shit. And I don't know if you've seen My Dog Skip, but pretty much what it is, it's a movie about this kid and his dog, and they're doing kid and his dog things, but like in the background, like they're all kind of like worried about shit because his older brother fucking just went and landed on fucking Normandy.
Oof.
Yeah, so it's like one of those fucking movies. And my dad makes this comment. He's like, you know, if I was alive back then, you know, fucking I'd have found a way to get out of the military because all the dudes were gone. I just like stay home and like bang everybody's wives. And I was like, well, yeah, well, which like on one hand, okay, cool, valid, fucking like I would love to be swimming in a fucking world of fucking pussy where there's no fucking competition. But my immediate response was like, well, I still would have joined the Marines and go fight the Japanese, but I'm not a bitch, so you know. And then he's like, dude, and I'm like, dude, you started Afghanistan. What the fuck did you want me to say about that?
Yeah, it's like, dude, come on, man, Jody. All right, Jody, that's your new nickname, Dad. That's what I call you from now on.
I mean, fucker's gonna fuck, I guess. I mean, like, I'm not saying that, like, you know, fucking, I'd find a way to fucking like cripple my leg or some shit, so I didn't have to go fight, you know, the Nazis or the Japanese or anything. But I mean, like, if somebody else wants to do that, it's like I understand, I guess. I mean, like, here's how I think of it. There's two schools of thought: not get shot in the face and pussy, or shooting Nazis.
Ooh, shooting
right?
Nazis. That's the big one, man. That's the big one,
right?
Shooting Nazis in the face. Shooting Nazis in the face. Come on.
Right. Well, like, it's like, dude, I understand. There's that conundrum there because, like, you might also get shot in the face, and you're not going to get any pussy, but you can shoot Nazis in the face.
All of them, like free reign. There's no your rules of engagement are shoot somebody that doesn't look like you. Basically, it's like if they're not wearing the same uniform, carte blanche, go. Yeah,
and there's none of this political shit where it's like fucking anybody left or right of whatever political pundit I like is a Nazi. It's like no. These are the ones that are wearing uniforms. Like they have a swastika on their arm. Like it's like a big red target. You just aim at that.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean that's like, ew, yeah, yeah. I'm going. Yeah, going airborne too. Yeah, jump an airplane like a real jump, a real combat jump. Like we're taking rounds on the airplane on the way in, kind of jump.
Fucking half your platoon gets killed on the fucking way out of the plane, and it's like I might get shot on the way. Oh fuck, there won't my rifle. Oh, this is gonna be bad. I got a knife. We're good. We're gonna. Oh fuck! I'm stuck in a tree. Let me cut myself. Ah, god damn it! I think I broke something. I saw my knife, dude. There's a guy with a swastika. I'm gonna go stab that motherfucker.
Yeah,
dude, like that. That's kind of how it fucking works. Like fucking like Audie Murphy, right? Like fucking like by every fucking one else's fucking account, some super sweet, humble, fucking wouldn't hurt a fucking fly type dude got into some trouble, you know, always kept his fucking head down, and then like somebody killed his friend, and then he took out a tank battalion with a machine gun.
Yeah. Called it an artillery fire, and the tank was on fire. Not only did you take it with
the machine gun was on a tank that was on fire.
You can't make that shit up. That's awesome,
dude. No, and then when he came home and tried to make a movie about the shit that he did, Hollywood was like, no one's gonna believe that happened, so let's tone that like all the way the fuck down because no one's gonna believe that like anybody fucking killed 800 fucking Nazis in 15 minutes because they hurt your friend, much less little short guy like you.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, fine, okay. Bang, bang, not fucking get up.
Yeah.
Dude, he's up there pressing the butterfly. Say my name, you Nazi bitch!
It's on fire. I don't give a fuck. I'm that angry. Now the bullets are on fire, fuckers. Yeah.
News or what is it? Stars and Stripes reports man is literally too angry to die.
Yeah, right. Ugh. Yeah. Right. Ugh. I was doing a lot of research. My grandfather, he was 101st, so he jumped in Normandy and everything. Yeah. So he was doing a lot of family history. Actually, he was able to find a video of him like a couple hours before they jumped in, like on YouTube. It was the funniest fucking thing ever. It's like, dude, that's my grandfather, right? Yeah, right there. That's him. briefing his dudes before he jumps in. It's like, dude, that's pretty fucking cool. So yeah, I did a lot of research and things like that. And so, it was really funny. I went airborne too. So, it's like, yeah, dude, watching Band of Brothers actually gave me chills when they jumped out. Cause it's like, I've been in a very similar situation kind of thing, being airborne and everything like that. And, jumping in, that's like a whole nother level. People talk about, we were talking earlier about just that respect of like, holy shit, you did what? And it's like, yeah, just the sheer balls on these guys. They're jumping in, and if it goes to shit, we're not getting off the beach, man. We're here until either we win or we die. I mean, there's no in between here,
Yeah, yeah. In best case scenario, these other guys don't die on the beach and get to us.
Yeah, it's like, holy shit, dude. Yeah, it's like, okay, fuck it, let's go.
Although my favorite thing about that, not necessarily the show Band of Brothers, but I guess the lore and history around that is because like the 101st got cut off during the Battle of the Bulge, right? And then Patton went to quote unquote save them, and they're like, yeah, no, like the unit to our left and right and all around us got wiped out and or fucked off because they weren't willing to deal with the fucking Nazis at this point. We didn't need rescuing because we were holding our own. I'm not calling the rest of y'all a bunch of bitches or anything, but my position didn't move.
Where the fuck are you guys? We're still here. There was actually the greatest beer run ever. So apparently there's this guy on the 101st. They're trapped in Bastogne. It's been like a week or something like that. It's been there, they've been there. His buddy gets shot and he's in the field hospital. And so this guy goes in and is like, hey man, what can I do for you? He's like, man, I'd really like a beer. And so the guy's like, okay. And so he fucking gets his helmet, runs around the fucking city until he finds some bar that's still there, fills his helmet full of beer and brings it back for this guy. And so the guy drinks this beer out of this helmet and everything like that. And it's like, no fucking way. So apparently it became this big story. And later on, the guy actually came back, like, this reenactment, I'm going back to Normandy, 40, 50 years later, right? Yeah. It becomes that story had spread so much and that bar was actually still there that they have the airborne beer and they have they give it to you in an old steel pot helmet glass. And nice. So they serve beer and this thing's like, hey, this is that thing. So it's like, there you go. That's kind of cool. And he's like, hey, that was me. I did that. And they're like, you did that? Come on. So he was like a local celebrity for like the week, basically. Everybody put him up. But yeah, it's like, you did the beer run? Yeah, that was me. Holy shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you don't see them too much anymore, mostly because those guys are all old and dead. And we like to think of World War II being 50 years ago because when we were kids and G.I. Joe was talking about the war 50 years ago was 30 years ago. We're not old. We're still in our prime. But fucking I used to love those fucking videos where like they'd go jump in or whatever, and then like fucking they'd have some dude that like jumped in on D-Day. He's like fucking like 105 years old, all crushed. He comes up with a cane. And then like some fucking like sergeant first class like straps into his chest like, you ready, old man? And that dude's like, I was ready before you were a dream and your daddy's ball sack bitch. Jump out of this fucker. And then he's like, okay, old man, let's go. And like the whole way down, the old guy's like, yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, that's like one thing. That's like one thing on my bucket list I'd like to go to because apparently they still do huge reenactments in Normandy. Like every year. I mean, it's a big thing. It's like a 2 week long, 1 week before, 1 week after. It's, like every year still. There's like
do a few of those. Yeah.
There's like one of the coolest details I've ever heard of in my life. So basically all the airborne units send like 4 or 5 guys. So these 4 or 5 guys spend a week in England doing foreign jump wings. So they jump with like the British, they jump with the Belgians. So you get like 3 sets of foreign jump wings. You actually jump into Normandy in the same drop zone these guys jumped into. And then you spend a week cruising around Normandy, all the wars, the D-Day sites on Normandy. I mean, it's like, and that's what you do for a week in the army or 2 weeks in the army, dude. And that's like, holy fuck, how do you get that gig? That'd be fucking, dude.
That'd be cool. I do know the French also do one for Belleau Wood, which you may or may not be familiar with, but for the people listening at home, in World War I, America didn't show up to like the last 8-9 months of the fucking war. Pretty much ass end of it. And if I can defend this, and I will after this, but America won World War I, like hands down, and that's a different conversation that I'll go to in a minute. But there was this place, I forget. Originally, it was called Belleau Wood. Now it's called the Wood of the Marine Brigade. or however you say that in fucking French, where the Marines showed up and like used the Germans as mops to fucking clean this fucking bitch up. And every year, like they have people from either 5th or 6th Marine Regiment go there, and like they have like a big, like week-long fucking celebration. Like they have like statues of like Marine demon dog, devil dog, fucking things that like spit water out of their mouth, and it's like a big honor to be able to like go there and like drink from the fucking fountain and all that. Like, yeah. So like you do have to give it to the French for celebrating the reason that they're still a country.
Yeah.
But anyway, I said that I would defend that America won World War I, and I will go into that by saying, yeah, I know we were only there for the last year of the war, but what happened before that was the Germans sent Lenin back to Russia, who started a revolution. So Russia fell out of the war, and Germany stopped half-assing France and full-assed France, and went from being stuck at the Belgian border to being within, I think, 10 miles of fucking Paris. And they weren't stopping. And then America showed up and said, don't be so sour, Kraut. And then Germany fucking collapsed because,
there you go.
We kicked we kicked them in the dick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, and that was an Army Marine Corps thing, because the Navy was in the ocean and the Air Force didn't exist at the time. So,
well, they had very small airplanes. Well, no, it's the Army Air Corps at that point. Yeah, that's right. They had Army Air Corps. That's like Korea.
So what?
That's like kind of like Korea. It's one of the big things. Like, I mean, it's like, oh, it's the Korean War. Most people kind of forget about it anyway, but you don't realize how close that shit was. Like, we started at China, they pushed us all the way back to this like little 10-mile gap down the very bottom of Korea,
and then we pushed them back to China, and they pushed us back there. And then that was like in the first like what year we were there?
Yeah. It's just like, holy shit. I mean, you see the territory, that 10-mile gap. We push them all the way back to China. China says, oh fuck no. They push us back to the middle, and we just kind of like leave it there. It's just kind of like, damn, dude, holy shit.
Yeah, dude. No, it's funny about that. So, my granddad was in Korea, right? Mm-hmm. And fucking what is it? So he earlier this year he died of pneumonia brought on by COVID.
No, sorry.
But actual COVID he kicked really quick. Like he only had it for like a couple of days. Like went to the hospital. The hospital's like, all right, no, you're good. You can walk away from this. And he walked away from it because 100,000 screaming Chinamen weren't gonna fucking kill him in Korea, and he was gonna let some goddamn China virus fucking do him over. But then immediately after that, he got pneumonia and fucking kicked the bucket. Which I'm sorry, anybody in the family that might be a little callous, but I'm drinking. I'm sure that's the way he'd want me to tell it. But it's kind of like, well, pneumonia is a French word. Could you have had this prejudice against the French too?
Say again?
Could you have this prejudice against the French too?
From pneumonia? That's straight French. I mean, that's more like, I thought that was more of a, you can't pin that on one.
Well, I mean, the disease isn't French, but the word is.
It's just a word.
Yeah, but it's like, well, a China virus? That ain't gonna fucking kill me. Fuck you. A pneumonia? I guess that's okay.
Yeah, it's French. That's France. We're okay with that. We'll roll over. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, my grandfather did Korea too. He was a forward air controller.
Okay.
For the Army at the time. Yeah, it's kind of funny. So yeah, it was infantry and during World War II. Transferred to fixed wing, was flying for Korea. All right. And then to top it all off, he went to Vietnam as an aircraft accident investigator for the Army. So it was like fucking like.
Wait, so he had been like Vietnam was median, so 70. World War II is 40. So he'd be like 60 years old, walking around going like, "Yep, nope, he hit the accelerator too hard."
Yep, pretty much. So it's like he was unarmed too. That's the funny thing. He apparently was like cruising around Vietnam with a bunch of, as a contractor basically. So he's, tooling around with these infantry guys, and he's like, dude, I fought in fucking World War II, and now I can't fucking carry a gun in Vietnam because I'm a contractor. But fuck yeah, let's go to that rice paddy. So it's like,
dude, no, those guys, like, you don't think of them being around, but they're fucking there. Like, I don't know if you dealt with any of them in Iraq, but like we had a couple of guys. Well, there had to have been a lot of them, but like I only met a fucking couple of them because there were some with every battalion where there'd be like a contractor law enforcement enforcement officer guy who is like the subject matter expert on like what you could and could not do legally. But all the ones that I ran into were like 70-year-old dudes that like retired from like whatever fucking police department in the fucking like 70s, and like this was just their gig now. Like we had this dude, if I remember right, his name was fucking Frank, but like this dude's like 80 years old, fucking like real skinny except for like giant fucking pot belly, big handlebar mustache, and like his job is to like be like, no, you can't treat him like that. I didn't see that, but you guys didn't do that. Got it?
Yeah, no, one of my buddies actually did that. He was a civilian. He was basically on our police department. I would say he took like a leave of absence, but he did like contract work for the State Department. He was teaching Iraqi police guys how to do like SWAT stuff. And so he was actually there when God was the Baghdad sniper that was so prolific over there, was the asshole, whatever the fucking name guys was.
I remember he had a name, but I don't remember who it was.
Yeah. He's actually got video of him taken around from that guy, basically.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's like, holy shit. So yeah, he was over there during that. And so, yeah, I mean, some of our guys did that. I mean, you don't realize that, civilian contractors were over there fighting, but yeah, I mean, he was a police officer over there teaching other shit. But the funny that you mentioned the old guys, my last deployment in 05 to 06, one of our guys in the department was so super salty E5. The guy was, like you said, 80 years old, but he was an E5 in the Army. And so we're like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Dude, no shit. The guy was a fucking Vietnam veteran. He's a helicopter pilot in Vietnam, had stayed in, gone out back and forth, was an E5, and was deploying with us in 06 to go to Iraq because he needed the retirement points for his retirement. But fucking 80-year-old fucking Vietnam vet in the back over here. It's like, holy shit, dude.
Good the fuck for him, man. Fucking.
Oh, yeah.
Like that,
but yeah,
like that sounds like he was trying to prestige in Call of Duty. It's like, listen, if I get high enough, I go back to like private, but it's like private 2, and not E2, but like private, with some extra fucking salt. You know what I'm saying? Fucking.
Yeah, dude, it's like, holy shit, dude, salty old bastard. I mean, like I said, big old handlebar mustache, didn't really give a fuck. He was there, he did his job, but yeah, it's like, yeah, I fought in Vietnam, motherfucker. Let's go. Holy shit, dude. Wow. Okay, good on you.
Yeah, no, like I think the closest thing I got to that was like fucking when I was in Afghan, fucking was the ACMEC. So the assistant combat out of the Marine Corps, who's a 4-star general, but like not one that anybody actually gives a shit about. Came up and fucking talked to the troops, and like how it is. Anytime a fucking general shows up to talk to the troops, you're like, all right, so
it's Chow.
yeah, I'm like, what the fuck? And this dude's like talking, and then like a quarter of the way through his fucking like motivate this troop speech or whatever, he goes, yeah, and I know what you're thinking, who's this old guy fucking talking about this and that, and like you don't give a shit, and I wouldn't either, because I know that I did when I was a Lance Corporal in Quezon. And we're all like, I'm sorry, what? And then we were glued to this motherfucker with the conversation.
Should have led with that, man, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, he worked it in fucking elegantly, but
yeah. So how's the book going, man? How's sales?
Well, actually, they're going. Sales are good right now, just because like fucking like new books, like back-to-back fucking releases and shit, fucking and to be honest, they're the best I guess sales that I've had on a release date, but that comes with the territory of I guess being around for as long as I have, and gaining people that want to read the shit the day it comes out, and they're mad at me the day after it came out for not having the next book out yet, because like they got it that day and fucking read it then.
Yeah.
So that's been going good. Garnering media attention and marketing, that's a completely different fucking conversation, and we talked about that a little bit beforehand, but that comes again with the territory of being either an underground author or a fucking self-employed businessman, where like, hey, I can only toot my horn so much. Does anybody else supposed to say what's up? No, I'll go fuck myself. Okay.
Cool. Hey, I got 6 likes on my last post, man. I'm doing great. That's good.
Dude, I'm fucking balling right now. So, I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, no, we were talking about that earlier before, and like, I don't want to bitch too much here about that, because, complaining is bad for business unless you're a rapper or a comedian, in which case, if all you do is bitch, that's okay.
Yeah,
for
right.
some fucking reason. But
so what's next? You keep writing? Are we going to go more books, or What's the next step for you?
Yeah, no. So I'm working on the I guess next trilogy of the Smoke Pit fairy tales, which will be the end cap to them, where I'm going to end with the end instead of to be continued.
Okay, yeah.
And then I've got some plans for the books after that. One of them is going to be about a fucking fighter pilot, which I don't want to give too much away about that, but like I'm not going to rip off Top Gun.
Nice. Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about. I started to kick around an idea because I got about an hour commute between my house and work actually, so I've got a lot of time to think about stuff. I was thinking about kicking them, maybe starting a book, but it's like where do you even start with all that? So.
No, dude. Like so. Here's my advice with that. Like you get all these ideas in your head, and they're all like one-off fucking like what if bullshit. Where it's like, all right, so we're just gonna say Tommy and Gina are like living on a prayer or whatever.
Nice.
And, yeah, and they're like Tommy works at the docks, and like Gina does this or that. It's like, well, I mean, like, well, what if Frank shows up and like, Frank's doing this, and like, hey, what if Santa's there for fucking whatever reason? Like all these like ideas you have in your head, whether they're like golden, complete bullshit, or like, well, I think I can work this in, whatever it is, right? The hardest part about writing is putting your ass in a chair and actually fucking writing the bitch. So. Yeah. If you wanted to write a book, my advice for step one would be to get like a notepad, legal pad, fucking like Word doc, whatever it is. All of your thoughts, just shit them out onto the fucking paper or into the Word doc. And then after you get all your thoughts down, you can start to like, kind of chisel away at it and, like polish it and make it nice, because like you can't polish a turd if you don't take a big shit first.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you got to polish. There's got to be something there to get rid of before it makes it nice. Yeah.
Right. And like your thoughts don't even have to be coherent at that point. Like it could be like, oh well, hey, fucking like Tommy's married to Gina, or fucking Tommy's dating fucking Sarah, or Tommy's dad's George Washington, and it's complicated because his wife Tiffany is George Washington's daughter, even though he didn't have a daughter in real life. We're gonna alternate history this fucking bitch. And then like once you get like everything in front of you shat out, you can be like, that doesn't make sense. Take that out. That's really good. Let's put this in the good pile. That sucks. Let's get rid of that. I'm not sure if this is gonna work or not, but we're gonna put it in the maybe pile for now. And as long as you just like keep dumping, excuse me, ideas into your shit pile, eventually you can work something out into it that like makes it a thing that people can enjoy.
Yeah. All right.
Which goes back to the whole polishing the turd thing.
Yeah, polishing the turd. Yeah, loose idea, and it's kind of like you said. I got like little snippets of like, oh, that'd be really cool to see this. That's kind of what I want to do with this, or that kind of thing. So yeah, maybe just need to start fucking.
Dude, no, even if it's a bunch of fucking shit where it's like, I have a really cool idea for subject A to happen, and I have a really cool idea for subject fucking D to happen. I have no idea what B or C are, but we write down A and D, and then we'll work on B and C on the fucking middle ground. Like there's not really a time limit on that. Like fucking, you're your own fucking muse, I guess, in that fucking situation.
Yeah, I've been trying to follow your writing tips posts and stuff like that. I've been finding those pretty cool.
Yeah, I probably need to make more of those, but is what it is.
You have the charisma. I think you should almost try and do something like the Marine Rapper. You get kind of like not necessarily like a music group together, but like I don't know, so like some informal military fiction writers guild or something like that. And just start working all together with everybody.
I mean, fucking there kind of is an informal, whatever the level under informal is of that. Nothing with a name yet. Maybe a stabby group of people who write and fucking like leave reviews, fucking type fucking shit. I would say with me, this woman Heather Carson, who writes work similar to mine, except for definitely for like a young adult audience.
Right.
So I don't want to say stabby. What is the when you put a knife into a human being, but it's in a Disney movie? What do you call that?
They wouldn't shank him. That would be like a hateful poke.
Yeah, hateful poke. She's like, I'm stabby, she's hateful pokey. Me, her, Michelle Packard, who writes books that are pretty much if Sarah from Sex and the City was John Wick. And yeah, no, they're really fun. And then this Irish guy, Damien Larkin, who writes, what if World War II didn't actually end and the Nazis just went to the moon, and then we had to send people to the moon and Mars to fight the Nazis?
Cool. All right. It's got war. All right, I'm digging it.
Yeah, a little informal group, but like that's my what I would say writing gang.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, you guys could put something together. I mean, like, I don't know. I'm not even sure what it would look like, but with all the veteran entrepreneur stuff that's out there, I mean, that'd be one that would be for the books. that'd be one that you get launched. That might get some traction, because you get a lot of guys coming back with a lot of combat experience. You guys are, there's guys pretty. We're pretty imaginative people, usually.
Yeah, no, there's another guy. Fucking, we follow each other, but I don't think we've talked much. But was it Dead Gunner Poetry? I believe his name is on fucking Instagram. I'm pretty sure it's a he. Fucking, I haven't heard. Fucking, he doesn't talk too much about himself. But I guess that page is really good about fucking talking about like poetry from fucking combat vets that fucking come back and shit that want to put themselves out there. I probably need to wrangle that guy up, but it's not like I'm the Don. I'm like, yes. Wait, hold on.
It's got to start. But like I said, you have experience, because I know I did the Bunker Labs program that really, really helped me out, and that was basically what it was. It was basically mentors, helping you start your business to launch it, basically. Some private companies that launched to help you out and things like that. But that was basically what it was. It was just a bunch of mentorship, and I think if you could, I'm not sure how viable it would be, but I know it would be beneficial to some to have that kind of a thing available. It's like, hey, I want to write a book. Well, hey, Tripp's written fucking 6 of them, and he's fucking pretty prolific, and he's pretty good about it. And he can at least give you exactly like you said, that tipper, like, how do you start? Just fucking throw it out there and see what sticks, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's the spaghetti method. Method's a word. Spaghetti method.
Yeah.
Throw it at the wall. If it works, it works. Don't. And that is the one criticism I do have about people who are like, oh no, just let me show you how to do this. You just make good content. It's like,
yeah, exactly. Thanks, asshole. Appreciate it.
What's good content? Well, it's stuff that people like. What do people like? Electrolytes. What are electrolytes? It's what plants crave. What do plants crave? Electrolytes. Bro.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Where do I start? You just start. Yeah, no shit, motherfucker. Where? Yeah. But it's like I said, the Bunker Labs thing, that's kind of like I was saying. I think a lot of veterans like you and me are kind of like that. I don't need you to do it for me. I just need you to point me in the right direction, because I can do it. I just need that. Where do I go for this? And I think like I said, if you get dialed in with the Writers Guild, it kind of help everybody. You get more traction. You get you're helping veterans, and might help everybody grow in the back end. So nonprofit, dude, man, that's like a nonprofit to me.
Yeah. Maybe this is my own personal bias, but I don't trust nonprofits, because like, wait. So how are you guys paying the bills if you're not making any profit? Well, the electric bill is part of the skim we take. How are you guys paying your employees? Well, the company doesn't make any profits. Where does all that money go?
Places.
Yeah, not into my pocket.
Yeah, right.
Okay, all right. Like the other thing, like the Swiss watch thing. Like, I like those watches. I don't wear them anymore because I live in the year 2021 and I need a watch as much as I need a fucking fax machine. But it's like, oh yeah, no. Like all of our money goes to our employees and into research and development, and none of it goes to the company. It's like, bro, that's a really elegant scam, and I don't want part of your pyramid scheme, but I don't know how it works. Can you tell me how it works? Well, we can make you part of it. I I want to be part of it. I want to know how it works.
Tell me how that works. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, that's one thing because I hired a business manager basically because I am full time. I'm doing this on the side, so it really helps me keep track and stuff like that. Her company Centify. She's a Marine wife. She's a Marine spouse, and she just helps with all the back end stuff. So making sure I'm keeping on track with deadlines and manufacturing and things like that. Really helped me out. Really helped me out. I wouldn't be anywhere near where I am without her right now at this point, but. Yeah, that's just one thing. I don't need somebody to do it for me. I just need somebody to point me in the right direction.
Yeah, which is a fucking pain in the fucking dick for anybody whose main marketing advertisement effort is on social media.
Yeah, dude, it's a pain in the ass. You need to make more content. Okay, what? More content. Oh, fuck. All right, cool.
All right. I'm gonna go to OnlyFans. Here's a picture of my dick. I'm gonna write "buy my shit" with Sharpie on my shaft. Is that good?
Well, for the right crowd. Yeah. Yeah. So
dude, that's what we need to do. We need to fucking just throw $1,000 at these fucking chicks that put stuff in their butthole. It's like, hey, listen, I know this might hurt.
I'm not sure I like where this is going,
but I need you to put my C-Tax axe in your butthole, and then I want you to write hashtag
oof
Stoner on it.
No, dude,
on the front end, it's like, yeah, dude, I don't like that. But on the back end, it's like that put zeros in my bank account. On the end. What the fuck?
That's what worked. That is what worked. Yeah, dude. You gotta be fucking shitting me. Yeah. Dude, I was gonna do one of those those ballistic torsos that have all the bones and everything like that. I was just gonna hack one of those.
That'd be cool. How much are those?
Fucking $3,000, dude.
What?
Yeah, it's stupid expensive. I was like, fuck, dude. It'd be a cool video, but you'd get one shot at that, and it's $2,000. You see these companies. Was it Forge and Fire? All these companies that are Matt Demolition Ranch where they just blow up everything. They use a ton of those things in 3 videos. It's like, dude, those are $2,000 a fucking piece, man.
Yeah, no, because you'd upload it, and since I'm imagining you don't have a YouTube, so that's your first video, and then 5 people watch it, and it's like
$2,000. Woo! Well, it's like the Christmas video we did last year. Same thing. I got a YouTube channel, but it doesn't get a whole lot of traction. We did this. My buddy who went through some of these veteran entrepreneur programs with me did the video for me. It's a pretty kick-ass video. I was pretty happy with it. But
I thought it was nice. Are you doing another one this year?
Nah, it was too pricey. I need some more actors where I can afford to do that. But yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch. It was a lot of fun to do. But yeah, man, it put all this huge effort into it, and 200 views, 300 views, or something like that. It was not. I loved doing it. I like having it. I like having that for the company. But yeah, it was just fuck, dude. It didn't go viral like I was hoping it. Yeah, but yeah, so.
Yeah, no, that's what I should do. I should fucking win the lottery so I can fund this, and B, commission someone to build me a cannon.
Okay,
and then put my book in the cannon and shoot the book at the ballistics guy, and be like, oh, so my book at fucking if Napoleon showed up with his cannon fucking regiments. And we're shooting smoke but fairy tales at these Prussians. This is what my book would do to their bodies. Their brittle little bodies.
Hey, that might work, dude. If you if you pulp it and you do almost like a paper mache, you compress it, so it'd be like a compressed paper, heavy duty ball.
Yeah,
that might work.
Well, dude, yeah, at the same time, you say that kind of shit. But there are people that have 100,000 followers on fucking YouTube, and all they do is just eat shit. And it's like. I need to send this guy my book. I don't care if he reads it. I just need him to eat it.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, you got. I'm telling you, get like you said, you get that one thing, man. That's all you need. You do that one thing, and there you go. That solves all your problems.
Fuckers on fuckers on fuckers. But anyway, fucking Brian, thank you for fucking coming onto my show. Fucking, can you tell the people you're a little bit of a fucking wrap up and where they can find you and your not kill axe.
It's a tool, not a weapon. Thank you very much. Yes. So stonegriffontactical.com, as you can see, it's our website. You can get our C-Tacs. We have them in stock. We got new scales, so we get those shipped out. We even have Kydex holsters now, so you got blade guards for those. We got got everything you need for that. Shipping now. If you want to check that out, of course, Stone Griffin Tactical on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as well. And like I said, dude, I really appreciate you having me on your show. This is a really good time, dude.
Yeah, no, dude, we'll have to do it again sometime. But actually, another thing before we go, because of what time of year it is, if someone wants to get one of these for a friend, family member, whoever it is, for Christmas, when should they maybe order one by?
You need it by at least by this next week. If we can get it out to you next day, or usually, if you don't mind paying for it. But yeah, if you want to get it, put it in now so we can get you to it for Christmas. So we are running a special now, so you get 10% off on our website if you sign up, and we'll get you your C-Tacs. So.
All right, sounds good. Well, again, on that, thank you for fucking coming on. This has been Trip Smoke Pit. Thank you, everyone, for watching, listening, whatever it is, however you consume this media. And we'll catch you later.
Thanks, man.